Hey, everybody, this is a poker coaching study session. We are studying cash games. We are looking at our opponent's cards because we like to cheat. Here we go.
They're getting better. The jokes are getting better each week.
Ah, thanks. There we go. Okay. So our friend is villain 28 here with 500 big blinds. He is crazy and he is who we've been targeting. And unfortunately, he is about to leave. Um, I think when he sat down, we had about 325 big blinds. We lost 13. And our stats against him, this is what's interesting to me, was when I looked at this, is we are so tight. And last week when we played, we were not doing a lot of passing on hands. But there we are with a 13, a VPIP of 13.
How many
His
hands? It's 100. Have you seen 100 hands? No.
We've seen 108 hands for him, and we don't know why. It's saying we only have 60 hands on us. We don't know why.
Okay.
But we've been there with villain 26 and villain 28 the whole time. Villain 26 was big when we sat down, and villain 28 has knocked out several people. His 4-bet percentage, that's what this is here, is 25%. But that's when, with 8 opportunities, he's gone twice. And these 4-bets were all in. That's what his play was. Our 4-bet percent, by the way, is 100%. So I would label us as tight and aggressive. But we only got one hand against him, and I didn't play it right. The
So
pocket.
the maniac got paid today so far.
Maniac
He's
got
gonna lose it
paid.
in the next 5 hands.
Yes, but I'm not going to be there. Okay, so what should happen on this hand is we just look around. This should just fold around to us. Let's see if it does. Nope. There's a limp. Oh, that's right. This guy's extra terrible. Villain 23 is limping almost every hand, and we can see that. There's his VPIP of 57. And this green number is when raised, he's called 53 times that he had the opportunity to fold to a raise. He called 34. This is all pre-flop. And he 3-bet once in 38 hands, up with 38 chances. So
now that 3-bet, that only registers as a 3-bet if he makes a raise pre, right? Like that won't
no,
register if he
if someone
limps.
else makes a raise pre.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's how we get. Okay.
Yeah. So 38 times he's been raised to. And he's called all, lots of them, and he re-raised once.
Okay.
There's
no way for him to raise that PFR stat if he's the LFI player, though, right? Like, there's no way that HUD tracks that.
I don't think it records he limps and then back raises. I don't think it records.
Okay.
But let's see. Limp, raise, 3-bet. No, I bet it does. I bet it does, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember him ever doing it.
Just that does make a big difference when you have like players that are VPIpping like 60% mostly by way of limping, right? So it's the only reason I'm asking.
Yep. So this Jack Deuce suited should fold, but I wouldn't fault him for calling. I think that these hands here against limpers, the bad kings, kings all the way down to king deuce, I think can play. All aces can play. Queens maybe down to queen 5, queen 6, the jacks, maybe jack 8. But if you decided to limp all your queens and jacks here, complete, I don't think that's terrible. But starting at the 10s and the 9s, I think it's terrible. You've got to, you got to then have straight connectivity down below there. So, but let's see. I expect with his 20% calling there that he's going to call behind. Nope, he raises. And with this raise, our king 5 suited is actually weird. This is a trivial play against him in the small blind, and this king 5 suited, let me think, does it do any raising? Yeah, this king 5 suited raises against small blind about 25% of the time. But that's when the small blind comes in open limps. Open raises. This kind of drops out the usual bottom of his range. that, his insta folds aren't there.
Yeah,
me-
this is a weird one.
This is a weird
Also,
one.
you have position on the ISO. I think probably this is a fold, but
Yeah.
it's a weird spot.
We can expect from how he's played that queen seven is going to call this. So we're going to go multi-way, which is not bad for being suited, but we're going to be out of position to this player. But this player has a dog's range. All right. Let's see what I do. Yeah, I do that. I don't know I don't know how good, how bad it is. It's
That's how I would have played it.
yeah, it's a thing. It happened. And now,
Um,
yeah. Skate.
No, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I just wanted to mention something about sizing there. Pre-flop from the small blind. I think his sizing was a little bit off, and it's kind of a tell to me of a weaker hand. Well, I mean, we can see it now, but his sizing is supposed to go. Isn't he supposed to go like 4, maybe 5? I mean, I would go to 5 because
5.5.
he's
Yes.
against the open limper, right?
Right.
Opening like you mentioned, first and open is fine, 3 standard, but yeah, his sizing was a little bit off there with 3.
Agreed. And that sizing also
Yeah.
gives the bad thing about the sizing is it gives us the odds to come in, and it also gives the queen seven the odds to come in. So coming in against that size is, probably I should come in more because of that. And then I lose my extra 2 big blinds right here. He donks. He's not donking, but he's leading into a multi-way pot, which is we're going to find out next week, but I think is not a usual thing. I think that when he has a hand good enough to do this, it should be played as a check raise more often, but it's going to work.
I think that's kind of the perfect board for him to lead.
Yeah. You think so? Tell me why.
It's just very hard for villain 23 or hero to it's not that it's very hard for a hero to have much range connectivity with that. But at the same time, it kind of is. Donking here is kind of just going to take it down a lot of the time,
Yeah.
I
regardless
mean,
of
you've
what he's
got a
holding.
point, King, but I mean, so he does have the overpair advantage, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's the only one here probably with 10s plus, not including traps.
Yeah.
But I think in theory, this board is not good for his range connectivity,
Yeah, I was
except
gonna
for the
counter the same.
overpairs.
I was gonna
So
I
counter
think
with
it's
the
going to be
same
better as a
argument.
blind versus
Yeah.
blind thing. But still, it's not really a huge difference with like the weak LFI player. That being said, it probably is better as a check raise, but I think that it's perfectly fine to mix in some donking
Right.
on these boards.
Now, one thing just in language, don't call
Yeah.
it donk, because the donk is when you're not the pre-flop aggressor. This is a c-bet. He raised, gets called. This is a c-bet out of position. But
Oh,
it's
I
a
suppose
c-bet.
it is, yes.
Right.
Okay.
And just saying that just so we keep it, so we keep in our heads clear that I don't have a donk range here. Well, this isn't a donk.
Okay, that's a fair point.
When heads up, if he had just raised and I'd called, which could have easily happened here. Him just following up with a c-bet makes sense here. This hand can certainly do it. He has an overcard. He has 2 back doors. Sure. That's fine. My range is super wide against his open from the small blind, so I miss a lot. As you get into 2 players, probably 1 overcard and 2 back doors is not so great.
Okay.
But the main
I
thing
think if you
about,
look at this, oh, sorry, Scotty, go ahead.
I was just say, but the main thing about this hand here, and we're gonna try to study multi-way next month, so we'll see if this is true. The heuristic that I have learned is, even if you're the pre-flop aggressor, you do very little leading into the in a multi-way pot. You have hands that are your hands that are good enough to lead, play better as check raises.
Yeah, sure. Now, I also have a question regarding this pre-flop sizing. Skater Die made this point, and yeah, I am with you. His sizing seemed a little bit small.
Yeah.
But I have been trying to be conscious of something that I heard in one of these study sessions here. When there's only one limper, like especially when it's one player who frequently limps and then folds, versus further pre-flop aggression, quite often that limp can be ignored. So like when you're in this blind versus blind, and you have this hijack limper, you can quite often treat it as if that limper doesn't exist.
No, I
which
think, I
is
think you're remembering something slightly different. Your
Okay.
range can treat it like that he doesn't exist, not your sizing.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because remember, when you, if let's say your opening size is 2.5 in position.
Mhm.
When he limps and you go 2.5, you're just giving the big blind such great odds with his one that's in there already. And you're also
Yeah, for
giving
sure.
the limper, he has a dog range, but he's not making a mathematical mistake calling 1.5 more. You aren't giving him the opportunity to make a mistake.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was Joey who said it, and Joey's theory was this. It's a really, really nice shorthand, which is until you know more about the limper, the range that you want to ISO with is take your position, go back to this is only when you're in position. When you're out of position, this rule doesn't apply. And it doesn't matter what position he limps from for this. So he limps, you're in the button, 3-bet him with the top half of your cutoff range. That's Joey's rule. Once
Okay.
you find out that the guy is limping, so he doesn't have, and he does some raises, so his traps are gone,
Mhm.
and he's just got a really crappy range, then just just ignore it and just open like you would, but still open to the right size.
Okay. So I'm never treating it as if the limper isn't actually there with my sizing. I'm still observing the 4, 5, 5.5 big
Exactly.
blind. So
Right. 4.5,
Okay.
right. 4.5 in position,
Gotcha.
5 to 5.5 out of position, just like Mike said. All right. So he takes that.
Gotcha.
All right. And we go to the next hand. I'm going to slide this a little bit out of the way so we can see the hands. All right. This should fold, raise, fold. King 10 offsuit against a cutoff, against a hijack raise. He should fold mostly. There's a tiny bit of calling. Like maybe call one combo. Maybe call 25% there. That's what I think. Let me see if I remember that right. Just for fun. All right. Hijack raises. We're in the big blind. King 10. Yep, look at that. Oh,
Nice.
18. I was off by 7%. I'm
Spot on, more or less.
I'm happy with that. All right. But that's not what's going to happen, is it? No. Because this ace-7 is coming in and playing. There's no doubt. And he's coming in for a limp we expect.
No.
Let's see what happens. Yep, there's the limp. Right. Now the ace-10 should ISO that. Almost. Thank you, Skate. Yeah, the ace-10 should ISO that to 4.5. And especially against this guy. He just doesn't need to worry about limp traps.
Mhm.
And he does, goes to 4. Fine. And now I think the king 10 folds. I don't think you want to be in there with this king 10. I don't think you want to 3-bet him. I think you just get out of there.
No, it's an
Does.
awful hand
Yeah.
right now.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Just awful. And the ace-7 who shouldn't be there. I suppose if you have this limping strategy, you're not coming
He
in.
probably calls.
I think I guess you call.
I'm not condoning it, but I think that's what he's
Oh.
going to do.
Yeah, I think and I think if you had a limping strategy, first of all, I don't think if you had a limping strategy, ace-7 offsuit shouldn't be there in that position.
No.
But whatever your bottom of that is, probably ace-9, ace-10, if you have, I don't know why you would have it, but you should fold it. So this should be a fold. Pre-flop, a fold. With that, a fold everything. And let's see how he loses. Check, bet, fold. That's how he loses.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. And now notice what has happened. Our friend is gone.
Long lost, long departed.
Our long departed friend has gone.
Wait, was that the 500 big blind guy?
That was, yeah, our 500 big blind guy just left. on
Okay.
this. Okay, let me move to another room here.
I'm sure that YouTube video from last week has gone viral, tens of thousands of views.
It was amazing. That was an amazing run. Yeah. Okay. And the number of times, by the way, that I've gone over the kings in my head from last week, I keep thinking about just going, why did I do that? We're back.
Always another hand.
Always another hand, exactly, but not against that guy.
That's true.
Who's our
Okay,
guy.
I can't deny that.
Now
We're
we'll,
gonna have some fireworks here.
yeah, we'll also,
Potentially.
interestingly, we'll see if over the next few hands, people start leaving the table because that guy's gone.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I wouldn't, because villain 23 is still here and he's giving away money.
Also, we've reinforced our theory that the fish like 9-max,
Yeah, we've got some mistakes.
but we don't know why. I don't think we have a theory as to why.
Nope, nope. Maybe this is just,
Um,
I don't know.
my take is that they are more. It's more like their setting, right? Like if they ever play live, they're used to like a full ring table. 6-max is like not
Yeah,
in their territory.
That's a
makes
very
sense.
good point.
that makes
Skate.
total sense. Yeah,
Where do
Yeah.
you start seeing 6-max live cash games? Because I've only ever seen, well,
Never.
10-max is what they have. in
I've
my
I
never
never
receipt.
see 6-max live cash games
Okay.
because casinos are paying one dealer. So
right. It's just
Yeah,
have
not,
I
the
can see
choice
how it
they-
makes no sense for them.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Skate. I think that's precisely the line.
there was a casino that once tried it during the poker boom, but that didn't last at all.
yeah.
Gotcha.
All
And
right.
there's a
Interesting.
lot of players that throw conniptions if the table is short.
Yeah, I've seen that
because-
Your
actually.
tables have stopped
Because
at,
live players get crushed if you can play them short.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and
And
people
so
start
their
complaining
experience
about.
with short is probably horrible. Because you can just
Yeah,
run roughshod over them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah, I've been at a lot of casinos where the game stops at 5 players. People just leave. They don't want to play it.
Gotcha.
All right, let's see. Fold, 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 raise, fold, fold, 3-bet, 100% ace queen suited. I mean, 3-bet a lot,
I
but
think it is.
let's see.
100%.
Yeah, let's see. We're against the cutoff. Ace queen suited. Yeah, 100%, 100% 3-bet. We don't even need to look that up. There we go.
No.
There's his raise, there's the folds, and his sizing. The poker coaching size was to 10. The GTO wizard size is 12 here or 13. Anybody remember?
I don't.
What's-
It could be 13.
I
from
don't.
these
I'm
late
going 10 in
positions.
game, but
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember the GTO
Yeah.
is
Let's just see what
size.
GTO wizard says. This is cutoff, right?
Hey, can you hear me?
12.
Yes, we can hear you
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be 12 or I think it's 13 when it gets to the late positions, 12
13.
when it's from an earlier position.
Yeah,
Small
you're
blind
right.
is 12, big blind is 13, and just to confirm that from the early position, 11 and 12. Yep, that's what it is.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's see what he goes to. He goes to
11.
11. 11 big blinds. Yep,
That's fine.
Okay. great. And the king 10 suited should not fold. You should play that.
Maybe some 4-betting.
4-bet, yeah, there might be some 4-bets there. I don't know them. Let's see.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a calling game because I'm more comfortable either folding or 4-betting with that
Yep,
king 10
see what-
suited.
See what it is. I also, before we hit the button, anybody want to guess what kings you start folding out?
In cutoff,
From, from the, yeah, in cutoff. What
I
king,
think we mix
Yeah.
king 9, 4-bet fold.
and then start
I
folding.
think king 9 will go away. I think there'll be some king 6, and then king 10 and king jack are going to 4-bet at a pretty good clip.
And then
That's
king
wider
queen
than I
off.
was expecting.
Let's see.
Yeah, we turn a lot of the suited
Yeah.
kings into
There's the raise.
not as much as we thought.
Oh, no, not as much as I thought.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but the
this
line
is
is there. There's your line.
yeah, this is
Okay.
where poker coaching diverges. I mean, poker coaching is going to turn a bunch of these suited kings into 4-bet bluffs.
That's kind of what I was thinking with the king 10, king jack suited, but I was thinking like king 10, king 9 suited. That's sort of where it gets kind of cuspy and where
Right.
I feel a lot more comfortable folding personally.
We can look at the 8 max, right? Do we have to go 6 max? Is there a rake difference between the 6 and the 8?
Yeah, the 8 max has no rake, so it's
Okay,
very
that's-
different.
Okay, we got a rake. So 6 max. We're in the cutoff. The action is versus a 3-bet. For stack size
So go,
100,
yeah, choose stack size.
the 3-bet. And we are, oh, action versus 3-bet. Here we go. And the evil person is in the big blind. And no, look at that.
Yeah, the king nines come in.
Yeah. It's a very different thing. Proving once again, GTO is not a thing.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's weakest suited kings it's turning into bluffs. The marginal ones, what it's deeming as marginal ones, are calling, and the stronger ones are obviously value.
yeah, and it
value
doesn't,
betting.
and it basically what it's done is it's taken a lot of these aces that GTO Wizard plays differently.
I think this is a documentation requirement scenario when you are solo in a hotel.
Say that again?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute.
Oh, you're not? Okay, good. That was a very amusing note, Larry. So the way it's getting to the same to the right frequencies is GTO Wizard is using these aces and poker coaching is using these kings. Okay, fine.
As an exercise, Scotty, look at the button on GTO Wizard, a
Okay.
button raise. And then the big blind 3-bet. And see what the button. So kind of similar.
Similar. Okay.
The king 9 gets in there now.
And the reason I think that we are going to, in our GTO brains, use the GTO Wizard stuff rather than the poker coaching stuff is just because it's easier to access. We are, we have the post flop stuff in GTO Wizard. We don't have it in poker coaching. We don't want to, here we are. If we start playing the poker coaching way, we won't be able to analyze the hands. So I don't know which one's right. I just know which one's easier to learn right now. So
Yeah, the post flop strategy would be different.
right, exactly. We'll have hands we wouldn't have. But either way, this king 10 should be doing mostly calling in every world. And he folds. Okay.
Just when I fold there, when I'm considering calling, I'm just thinking ahead to so many flops. I see a C bet, and I have to fold, and I'm just like, why am I putting in an extra 9 big blinds when I'm folding like 85% of flops? So I just fold pre. You know
Because
what I mean?
And king,
Because if
you
you
can
bubble-
also,
oh, go on.
and you can also consider that a lot of your population is not 3-betting to the extent that a GTO player is 3-betting. Like they're more value heavy. So your fold
Sure.
is not nearly as, bad, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a
Alright.
good point. Also,
Good point. Yeah,
ace
for
queen,
sure.
big blind's 3-bet strategy is much more polarized because there's no one behind.
Mhm.
But in reality, it's going to be more linear.
Right.
It's going to be not
Yeah.
very polarized versus what
Here's-
solves.
But here's why you
Sure.
want to play it. Here's why you want to play the king 10 here, I think. One reason that is not as important is if you handed somebody your strategy, they could, Joey would exploit you by 3-betting you 22% of the time because he knows you're overfolding. Now, we've just said that your opponents aren't going to do that to you. Great. But look at this. He's got 60%, you've got 40%. You're putting in 38% and you have position.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah, when you
realize this
consider
thing.
it's a wash, pot odds versus equity, and then you add the additional equity realization that you have in position, it's pretty clearly a call.
Yeah, now this is against this specific hand, but this specific hand is pretty high in his range. I mean, even in a linear range, this is pretty high.
Mhm.
So
I'd be
But-
looking at their 3-bet stat. If it's anything like in line with what they're supposed to be 3-betting, I think I just like making this king 10, 33, 34 big blinds and folding them out and just taking it down pre a lot more.
there's that. It's not wrong.
But the suggested size in a GTO strategy would be more like 22, 23.
More min
What is it,
clicky.
27?
That was against
Okay.
the cutoff. I mean, that was against the button. Let's go cutoff. Big blind goes 13, and here we are back in the cutoff. Yeah, 27.
27.
I was
okay.
trying to get it like as big as I could go without having to size for an all-in with stack behind
Yeah.
my remaining chip stack. But yeah, I hear you. I
Yep.
hear you.
Yeah.
And
So-
yeah, min click is more nutted anyway. Looks more nutted. Or
Yeah,
min
And
click
your
fish.
Gonna have,
your
and gonna have,
3x, your 3x four bet, it would be more close to an out of position three bet size.
Okay. Okay.
And your
Okay.
in position four bet would be in the 2.5, like we saw here,
2.5,
2.7-ish, 2.6, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
now this is interesting. Villain 23 finally picked up a hand.
That's our limper, right?
That's our limper.
Okay.
Does he limp it?
Probably.
You
I,
should.
given his strategy, he should. I say he doesn't. Let's find out. Anybody else want to make a bet on this before it comes? I don't know.
I'll bet he
No,
raises.
he's not
Oh,
gonna,
Eddie
he's
was
not, he's
big.
not gonna raise. Yeah.
And this shows just how bad this particular limper's limping range is. Is
Yeah.
it doesn't contain any traps, even in the most trappiest opportunity. You know,
It's
Very
like
much
his
so.
whole strategy is set up for this moment and he screws it up.
right. And the only good thing is that this is paying attention, because his ace deuce suited doesn't fold ever to the, is a call in a chart, but it's not a call to 5 big blinds, and it's not a call to this guy.
Nope.
I don't think. I just lose it for 5 big blinds. And he won't lose any extra money, at least. And oversized bet here. Just, I have a good hand,
Which makes no sense.
and this is
What are we watching?
atrocious. The only good thing about this hand is that this says villain 29 and not hero.
Sure.
Maybe, so maybe, yeah, this is really bad.
There is going to be, depending on when we get to it, because when I selected hands, there's going to be an atrocious hero play coming up. Just hideous. All right, here we go.
Oh
And
God, he's done.
now he's dead.
Let's see if villain, no,
No,
he's like,
no,
I'm
He
getting
might
it
find
in.
the
I
fold.
don't have traps.
No, if he called that flop, there's no way he's folding this
not
turn.
folding. He's not folding. He
No
might,
way.
he might fold the river.
Probably not that river.
Very safe one out.
I don't think aces is afraid of queen 10. I don't think he's afraid of 2 pair. I think he's jamming.
This player might just check behind, but no, good.
No,
I think Bellin 23 fell ass backwards into the perfect sizing on every street here, post flop.
look at that.
I don't think that was intentional.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, let's look through those sizings. Oh, you mean against him? Yeah, well, I think this is
Kind of perfect.
I mean, as
It's
it
like perfect
worked out,
3E.
yeah, he's certainly sizing to get it all in around the, yeah.
He's lucky he got paid.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Oh my God, yeah, I mean, this side, I mean, I think this size is too big for this flop.
Oh,
with
it's
this
crazy.
hand, But
You're
it
going
worked.
third max there, like 25 to 30% is probably perfect
Sure.
on that board.
Well, no, this is a big bet board. You could do this one 60%. A king and a
Could ya?
jack. Yeah, two from this position, what is he? Low jack -2. Yeah, low jack -2 versus this. That seems like
Yeah,
a big bet
he
board.
went half pot. Oh no, he went pot, didn't he?
He went pot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
saying
thought
he
he was
doesn't have
half
to go
pot. I was gonna
25.
say that doesn't seem too egregious, but yeah, pot is pretty big.
Pot is
So
pretty big.
this is,
Oh my gosh,
this
it
goes
worked.
to the theory. When the fish puts a lot of money, that's a lot of money, just believe me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I just believe that on this turn, this big sizing here, it might be a mistake from the pre-flop raiser, even though he hit his hand, because the open ended gets there, right?
Yeah, it does.
Get the queen
He's
10.
up against queen 10, but
Yeah.
if he gets check raised all in, he's completely happy. First of all,
Yeah.
he's happy he has top set, and he's not gonna be, we don't think he's thinking about the queen 10 that much, but he's got outs against the queen 10. He's got 10 outs.
If I'm him and I see a raise all in, I'm like, oh, he has queen 10. That's like the one combo I will think he has.
Jack is there too, but king, jack, king, 5-5.
Yeah, that's
folding.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
King
I'm not
jack,
folding.
5-5. Yeah.
The money's going in whatever order, but there you go.
Oh, I wouldn't have been folding. Just more like, oh, what am I walking into?
Yeah, there's that. Yep. And now he has a lot of money. And we like that. And a
The
four,
hero is deep stack against the fish. This is a good situation.
this is a good situation. You know, but the bad situation is that I have to leave. I remember this. I have to leave my house and do something in the real world. This is a terrible thing. All right. Fold, 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 fold. A7, button. Yeah, open it, against just the big blind. Yeah, absolutely. Open it.
Mhm.
Against a big blind and against the small blind and the big blind together. A7 is going to,
Open.
yeah, open it, but not at full frequency, right?
On the button,
On the
yes,
button.
I think.
Oh, is it? Okay, am I,
It should.
I would be shocked if it's not.
what am I forgetting? Oh, no, of course it opens. Of course it opens. It's down to ace 3. I mixed up two ranges. Yeah, ace 3 mixes and ace 4 opens pure. Yeah, this is a pure open. My brain just clicked backwards. All right, raises to 3. Unnecessarily large, especially with no small blind there, but okay. He's gonna get
Suited.
called. There's the other thing. Why not exploitatively raise bigger? He's gonna get called.
Well, yeah, I'd be treating that the same as a blind versus blind, in which case I would be going 3 or even 4 big blinds.
No. The reason that you bet bigger in blind versus blind is because you're out of position, not because of the size of your range. You don't
Oh,
mind
for small blind versus big. Oh, okay.
small blind. That's why. That's why heads up, you don't get those bigger ones. Because heads up, the small blind is the button.
Okay.
I mean, real heads up play. But taking an exploit and changing this from, from 2.5 to 3 or even 4.
So,
knowing that he's
sorry,
gonna-
what's it supposed to be? 2 big blinds or like 2.2 or like a 2.3 or a 2.5?
2.5, right?
2.5.
Yeah, your normal size, your normal raise size.
Oh, okay.
Right, but
Okay.
just the adjustment that you don't have a small blind there, so you're only going against one person. And you have 0.5 big blinds less in, so maybe you make it smaller. But you certainly don't make it bigger. But
Okay.
against this guy, you should. You know he's calling you, and you know his range is gonna be way worse than ace 7. So
Mhm.
good for villain 27. Check, just bet range against him.
Mhm.
Because he just can't defend.
Yeah.
With his range. Yeah. That's one of the other exploits, I think, against villain 23 is bet range.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right. Fold. Raise, but are there any folds of 8s here? 1, 2, 3, 4. -1.
Yeah, I'll bet GTO Wizard has some frequency
Yeah.
of folding there.
Yeah.
I think it's at the 7s where it starts, isn't it?
This is the pre, yeah, no, the 8s.
Could be.
8s in the pre, 7s are, let's see.
It's going to be bottom-ish either way.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if I can remember it. Yeah, this is the low jack. So
I think 6s is pretty reasonable fold, so
Yeah.
7s plus probably is.
low jack -1 should be
I think you're right.
nines
Yeah,
are
I think
pure. No,
Whoa.
this is what it is. Nines are pure, 8s are about 50%. That's what I believe. Let's see if
Okay.
come on, memory. 9s are pure, 8s are 58.5. Off by
Okay.
8.5, even worse than last time.
And some slivers for the lower ones there.
There we go. I would raise this particular combo of 8s, but it's not me.
I'm raising.
yeah, me too, especially with the villain
does.
small blind.
Okay, well,
Interesting size, but
what about 10 big blinds with a
yeah,
post?
it's not a thing. Well, the post, but like even still, that's not a thing.
How does that guy post? How does he come
So
in?
this is the maniac who must have just to be disappearing. Yeah, he disappeared and came back.
Yeah,
So
he left table and came back and couldn't wait for his Zorbet.
Right. That's what happened. He didn't leave the table. He sat out.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, he's back. Good eye.
Yep.
But is that a good reason to raise to
No.
10 blinds?
No.
Seems terrible.
No, it's terrible. There's no way that's a thing.
If
In my mind, there's no way that's a thing.
right. If this maniac, if if leaving is the same as losing a hand to this guy and he comes back and he's gonna come back in big and roaring. So he's gonna do some jamming again. Against his jamming range, 8-8 doesn't do badly, but do you want to get all in with 8-8 against him? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
This, I wonder if this is a misclick.
Could be. Could be. I
That would
mean,
be a strange
combo of-
misclick.
I
The
don't think it
combo of-
is. I think that's what he meant to do.
yeah, the combo of villain 23 calling almost everything could push this up, saying I don't
Can
want
you
to.
click it over to chip stack, like actual chip sizes for a second?
Yeah, it's gonna be half this. It's gonna be 50 bucks.
$5, right?
Yeah, we're at 50 cent things. So show chips. So he's got 46 bucks. He's got 250 bucks. He's got a-
No, that wouldn't have been a misclick. There's no way.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the only
No,
way to
he,
do that is because
yeah, an extra 0 or whatever,
yeah,
or
but
an
that,
extra
that's a
decimal
call.
out of place.
Yeah, it's not a raise. So anyway, he does it. Once he does that, this ace jack can't even consider playing, and everybody should just fold. Let's see what they do. They do.
I think ace jack folds to a normal raise there.
It does, but I mean, I'm saying he doesn't
Yeah.
even consider it. But yes, ace jack is a fold there. King 5 is a raise here. Is there any reason on this table not to raise it? Not particularly.
Post.
King 5 I mean, we may have
I
to.
think that's more
throw out a
reason to
position
raise
against
it.
Queen 8. We're gonna go to 4.5 because this guy is here. And because we have to go to 4.5. I wouldn't hate.
I mean, I will confess that might be a little low in range for me to open when I'm actually at the table. I think I'm doing like king 6, king 7 plus from this position, but
I think king
That's a
5
personal
probably
leak.
I think king 5 mixes, but
Yeah.
well,
oh, probably.
Okay.
Probably
I think
does.
it's going to be a low frequency mix raise.
Under the gun, it's so
very
it's
low,
gun
probably.
1. It's this one. It is a mix,
Okay.
but it's a healthy mix.
Yeah, okay.
And I think
It's-
that and given the table dynamics, I think I should fold it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is a very hard hand to play multi-way out of position.
Yeah,
hmm
okay.
Cool. I like it.
Having posted, I don't know what he should do. I guess you just check. Yep, this guy's of course coming in for a call, never raising. This king 2 should fold, even though it's the best hand. Getting these pot odds. Can't feel good when you hit your king, you can't feel good when you hit your 2.
Nope.
And he does. All right.
Good.
Go villain 24. And this guy, this is not the hand, I think, to wake up and turn into a bluff pre-flop.
I love raising those combos versus limpers, but I'm
Yeah.
not doing it with the short stack here.
Well, yeah, the problem is the short stack. Now, the short stack is really low in range. He's posted. This guy has no range at all, so you could take advantage of it. But
Yeah, true.
But I think the gift is that you get to see the flop. I think the exploit here, I think, is not raising and taking down the 2.5 big blinds. It's seeing a flop you never should have seen and realizing and realizing some piece of 23% of equity. I think that's the better play.
Sure.
He does. And he flops not just the best hand, but a hand that can continue. He can call. I think
Yep.
this is. Oh, it's not the best hand. This guy has a 6. Okay. But either way, it's a check. Oh, so he bets out.
I was just gonna say, there might be some leading on this, so I wouldn't be surprised. I know
Not
it's
at
kind of
all.
weird when you get multi-way, but
Yeah, it's not a dunk. I think it's a low frequency of leading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
limping and multi-way, the limpers, I wonder if that heuristic of these low boards, even though you're in the big blind, the limpers that came in before you kind of blows that out
You'd think that
because their range doesn't,
I
their
think
range
when you're
can
this
still
low,
contain some of this stuff.
Yeah, although more 7, 8,
Sure.
more 7, 8, 9. This seems more foldy than limpy.
yeah, I
it's-
think when the board is actually this
it's
low, I
ace-
think that you can dodge a lot of that, but
But there we go. Queen 8 needs to fold. That's easy. I think now the deuce 5. I think his best bet is to get to showdown and lose.
Mhm.
But he's decided he wants to win. And he's
It's
gonna have,
not the sizing that's gonna do it.
nope, it's not yet. But how about that? How about the card that's gonna win for him? There's always that. You can always get there. What size? You guys,
75 to 100%.
what are we putting on? There's a force, it's, you go 75 to 100, you're turning two pair into a bluff.
6.
Yeah, I think I block or check and call.
I think I like check and call.
Yeah.
You go 75.
Like my thinking with that larger sizing is that it's like like you say, you're turning it into a bluff. It's sort of more repping something that looks very weak with something that is going to surprise your opponent when they're going to call you, right?
No, did
That's
you
kind of the
notice,
way I think of it.
you notice the four straight?
Yeah, I'm not particularly worried about him showing up with the straight here, though.
You should be.
Well, in a limp pot, I think he
3x?
could have a
Like-
straight or a flush, as opposed to a raised pot.
Yeah.
Single.
Yeah,
You have no reason to
No.
eliminate 3x from his hand. Remember the pre-flop action. He didn't limp. He posted.
yeah, I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
He, at this moment, right here, he has
Yeah.
he doesn't have 100% of his range. He's missing all the hands that totally miss this flop. Not all of them, but he's missing some hands that miss this flop. This
Yeah, and
call,
he'll still be in here with 3x calling this lead. And yeah, okay. Now I see what you're saying. I got
yeah,
you.
so I wouldn't eliminate 3x from his range, so yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, and not just that, he could also have a better two pair. You know, we have essentially the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst two pair on this board.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'd have
Oh, I
better
think
two
check
pair.
calling's the best play. No question.
Yeah, he
question.
rarely has,
Yeah.
29 rarely has a flush here, the way he played it. But,
Mhm.
yeah, and this size.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
And he doesn't get called by what he's targeting. Because that's the other thing about his size here, I think, which is that this four straight, it's not just that villain 25 should be afraid that villain 29 has the four straight. When villain 29 doesn't have the straight, he should be very afraid that villain 25 does have it. So he's going to have to overfold here.
Yeah, harder for him to
this-
call. Yeah, okay. I got
So
you.
this 7-9-6 is not getting called by a lot of things. And villain 29 rarely has top pair.
Hmm.
Because it's not, when he called this flop, he has, some kind of draw, some kind of made hand. If it's, why is a 10 good for that?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So his pair,
I'm just kind of thinking about how I would bluff that hand, and that's sort of like the sizing, the line that I would take when I was bluffing with absolute total error, right?
right,
I just
but you don't have, but I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, bluff.
no, no, I'm in the wrong for my arguing for.
Yeah.
I see your points. I really do.
And then I'll say one heuristic here about sizing there. When you're thinking about your sizing for the bluff, and that is bluffs follow value in their size. So, so rather than think about what size do I want to bluff, therefore that's the size I want to do my value. You think, what size do I want to do my value? Therefore, that's the size I want to do my bluff. In general,
Mhm.
that's the order to think it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, hero.
Okay, can we stop now? I believe that not only am I in a bad setup here, I believe that I could not play this hand worse than I play it. I believe. I think this is the one.
It's
So,
okay. We've all played queens versus kings.
Yeah.
On this position back at one point.
oh, this is, by the way, a different table now. I've got 100 big blinds. I don't have 300 anymore. So we're at a different table now. Everybody's different.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that was when I had to leave.
No
All right.
stats on
So this-
anybody here. We're readless.
Nope, we're starting. This is the
At
first.
least you don't have
This is-
300 big blinds in this situation.
Oh, exactly. That's good.
This is an interesting pre-flop spot too, because I'm pretty sure Wizard or GTO, I should say, wants like a call here. I'm curious what you do, because I would be in your shoes. I would want to 3-bet it, but
Yeah.
I assume it's all gonna be pre-flop, right? It's gonna be raise 3-bet, and then you're gonna 4-bet. He's gonna shove, and you're gonna cry
No,
call
it's
when it
gonna be
should have been a
worse.
fold.
No, I think it's
Or-
gonna be worse than that.
Okay, okay.
But let's see here for a second. This raises 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a post there too. This is great. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is low jack -1 against low jack -1. My big blind, my queens. I'm 3-betting. I'm not calling queens here very often at all. They're 100% call against the bullet, which is the one after the gun.
The other two
low jack
later
-3.
positions.
Low jack -3. They're 100% call. Low jack -2. They're like 25%. Low jack -1, which is here, they're like 50%. And I've got the queen of spades, so this is not going to be good for me. Now, just to review whether that's right, here we go. Under the gun, there's the big blind. There's the queens basically calling, I'm going to call that 100% of the time and feel good about it.
Mhm.
Against under the gun 1. Yeah, 21%. So like that. And under gun 2, which is who this guy is, it's gonna be 50% ish. 34. Okay. So either way, I have the queen of spades. So this is gonna be a 3-bet.
Yeah, this is a setup for unpleasantness.
Right. And he starts bigger, so everything is gonna be worse. So I'm
And
gonna go.
sorry, you're using that spade to determine you're using that as a randomizer basically to determine when you call versus 3-bet? Is
Yeah,
that why you mentioned the spade?
yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
I'm doing it, in order to try to be able to, when we review hands, understand what I did.
Okay. Okay.
So
Understood.
so when I play, if I play for real money against people who would know me, I'm not going to use the same suits. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to do
Sure.
this on this anonymous site where nobody knows it's me.
Sure.
So against you guys, I'm not going to do this.
Sure.
Anyway, so this is going to push my bet up to about 16. That's not good. Yeah, 16 and a half. And he
I
calls it.
mean, it's not bad though either, Scotty. It's not.
No,
This
no.
is textbook.
No, I don't
textbook
mean
play.
that my size is bad. I'm saying the situation is bad because now
Yes,
In reality.
that's true.
because now we are at a 2.2, 2.3 SPR, so I'm not going to get away from it. And then
The reality that you don't know is not as bad as you don't know.
yes,
Where's the ace when you don't think you want it, but you do want it?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Skate. He's trapping. And I think he's trapping either. I'm going to put myself in his mind, which is that given the oversized, he doesn't need to 4-bet here. And he gets to see if an ace falls.
Yeah, I
That's
think aces
still a
and
real
queen.
tricky play though. That's
Yeah,
real tricky.
This is a standard play to trap in position.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Kings are kind of like that. It's like you almost never want to flat kings, but
I
yeah,
don't.
that's the thing. It's like 90% of the time you're gonna be okay. Like maybe 10% of the time he'll show up with kings here, right? But that's like the 10% that he actually flats it. That's
So
all I meant.
Yeah.
So, poker coaching's ranges are similar in that we fast play aces, but we slow play kings. And so obviously it has value.
Oh,
because
really?
we see it across 2 pre-flop
Yeah, look at that.
ranges.
That's very
And
odd to me.
I don't understand it. Do you mind going to equity real quick here?
Sure.
Seems
Yeah,
very
right there.
strange.
Strategy plus EV. There we go. That's what you
Can you
want?
do one more for equity?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not smart enough to understand.
You can't, you won't do it.
Oh, that's right. You can't do it before. Sorry.
Yeah. it's-
So yeah, so I guess my point is I don't understand why we would slow play kings and
No, that's
not
entirely
aces.
counterintuitive.
It doesn't make any sense to me really, but we see it
No.
across 2 different
And,
built ranges.
right, and it's very linear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, that's
so,
odd.
I mean, it could, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
mean, if we're against aces,
I'm
it's
not
weird.
about to start implementing that either. I would still much rather slow play my aces rather than my kings.
Yeah,
just out of curiosity, I'm gonna check GTO base.
okay.
I wonder if it's because of these. It's such an early position, right? Whereas if we see this like button versus big blind, then I think you start to see more trapping aces and
Yeah,
four betting
it definitely you
kings.
trap
Do you
aces
think
button versus
that's the
big blind.
case?
Hmm.
Yeah, aces have some trapping there. Not a lot of it, but they have it.
And that's kind of more in line with what we were expecting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
So I
entirely due to
think
position.
the early position of the opener.
Right.
Okay. I'm happy with that answer.
And how it changes our range here and then how he reacts to that. And in this particular case, if he's seeing it as a slow play, he knows it's not going to be hard to get all in.
And Scotty?
Yeah.
If you can, check the 3 big blind raise. I'd like to kind of extrapolate to see where,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
once these sizings are getting bigger,
we only
if
have
this
that
would
on
just,
six. Okay, it's going to be off by.
oh, you don't have the
We don't have,
other,
Max doesn't
I
have.
do, I could probably try to pull it
Okay,
up.
let's get,
You
yeah.
go, you
do what I do.
continue and I'll,
Yeah.
you continue and I'll see if I
Yeah, gotcha.
can't find that.
So, I like this flop. I like everything about this flop. I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna continuation bet, C bet, 3 bet, C bet. My hand wants to do it. Everything is good. Except
Yep.
for poker.
Yeah,
So anywhere from 11 to 17.
yeah, I'll bet it
Trying to
likes
get
a
all-
bigger sizing.
I'm trying to get all in here.
Yep.
So
I size
13.
up slightly.
Yeah, so that's not gonna make it hard to get all in.
I mean, when you see this in game, it's going to be pocket 8s, it's pocket 6s, but they'll be doing this with pocket 9s, 10s, and jacks at a very high frequency. So I don't think you can be faulted too much for calling.
Yeah, I don't, I think if we look in the world of GTO, I think this is an insta call. I don't think that queens fold here at all. You
Hmm.
can check it, but I don't think they do. I think that I'm, just
I
to
would be
re-
expecting 6s or 8s or 10s more than I would be expecting kings, though, from this
Yeah.
jam.
Yep.
But like, could it be more like value and less like draws, like flush draws, early position versus like a,
I don't think,
say,
I don't think he has 9-7 suited. But if he has ace-7s of spades, some people might play it this way.
Oh, ace 10
Mm.
of spades. Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
some people might do that, might play it this way.
okay.
But I mean, in GTO world, I think that this is a full frequency call with a queen of spades. Because if
Yeah,
we
I
go
don't think
make
imposition
one
should
here,
make this play. I think this is not a thing, what he did.
yeah, but having done it, and then I think in the real world, I don't think I can fold here.
I mean, if this is a freeze out
Value.
tournament, I'm folding these queens.
Yeah.
But
Well-
that's entirely different than a cash table.
Yeah, so I get to lose all my money. That was fun.
And I don't think anybody faults you for that.
Look
No,
at that, though.
absolutely not. Oh, and now you're thinking, come on, baby.
Any spade but a deuce. So look at that. I got 18%. I got 18%. I don't deserve 18%. And it's a deuce. That's not the funniest deuce, but a deuce.
Well,
All right. So let's rebuy.
yeah, that was fine.
That was fun. And now we're also at a different table now. So I've posted. So we're playing at 2 tables. We're going to bounce back and forth between 2 tables here. Did you get that, Mike? Did you get the range to show?
Yeah, I think it only did go to 6 max, so I did change it to 3x in the 6 max and just use low jack, but yeah, it's going to be different. It did increase, like kings never called there versus a low jack, which is one position earlier, and it increased your 3-bet frequency. But again, yeah, you were right, it didn't go back any to 9 max tables,
Okay.
so couldn't really see it. I did pull up the flop and what your sizing should be
Yeah,
there
put it up,
on a
put it up,
continuation bet.
Um,
Oh yeah, I can
full
share.
screen.
Okay, stand by. Share. Make sure I got it correct here. So it was the low jack -1, right?
Yep.
And we 3-bet. He calls, which I think we already looked at his range, and it did include some flats with the kings.
You can flat kings now.
Your sizing should have been on the big side, 75% actually.
Okay, and I did,
You went more like 50, right? Or was it
Yeah, you were
small?
like 60%. Or
yeah,
no, wait, it was smaller.
but the pot was bigger. So I did 50%, I did just over 50%.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and then he jams, of course, and you can see actually it does have some
Yeah.
rips in there, and your queens, I'm sure, is calling. All your queens are calling.
Yeah.
right, I don't fold a single queen. All right, so hooray, I lost my money in the right order.
Yeah.
So good. All right, so this post here,
Share your
I-
screen.
oh, sorry.
We're on
So
to the next hand. Yeah. I'm gonna have to dip here, guys. I'm blind level 3 on my Sadie. I'll be here tomorrow.
good luck, King. Bye.
See ya.
Okay, so, this is a post. I think this is the one time that it makes sense to post. These two players here that are showing not here are here. They just haven't gotten into the game yet. So I'm gonna post in the cutoff and get all these hands free rather than wait for a big blind and have to pay a big blind and a small blind to get to get one more hand free and to get the button. So I think mathematically, I think this works. I think this is.
How are you only able to post a half a small blind, a half a big blind, as opposed to a
Oh,
full and a half?
oh, it's gotta be, maybe is it because I went broke and didn't get in fast enough? It might be that. This might be the same case.
Oh, yeah,
There's
I
the
bet that's
kings.
right.
This is 213. Yeah, when I did my queens, I didn't get to the button to rebuy fast enough.
Yeah,
So you
you
missed your
missed the
small
small blind.
blind, basically.
That's
So
it. You missed the small blind.
yeah, exactly. So here we go. I go broke here, and what I needed to do when he went all in was I needed to go hit a button to buy in. So I went broke. It immediately put me in the small blind and then skips the button on me. So for half a big blind, I get to be back in the game.
That is an interesting rule that Ignition has.
I didn't move fast enough. So that's just a little thing I have to learn. I mean, you'll see that I will make that mistake a lot of times.
I do it too, Scotty.
Especially when
I
I expect to win.
yeah. Making the play, you kind of forget that you need to auto reload, hit the auto reload button before you hit call or whatever it is you do, because you lose the hand, you're
Exactly.
sitting out.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that a lot. Okay, so here, having done this, I think having a half a big blind in there pushes this. I'm gonna raise this. It's not gonna go well for me. He min 3-bets me. And given his stack size, my flush draw, even though this is such a min, I probably should just fold. Because he just doesn't have enough
Yeah,
money.
you don't have the implied odds
Yeah, he
of your
just
suitedness
Yeah. But
against a broken stack.
but I'm not that good a player that day. I'm better here than I was then, also seeing his aces. And now at least we're done. That's one big blind. Oh, I hate him so much. I hate him so much.
Good thing you're not sitting here with like king 9 of hearts or something.
Yeah. Even now I think I am getting the right implied odds to try to backdoor the flush. I think I am.
I don't know.
One to
We-
win
we
20,
could calculate it.
30.
Yeah.
No, not when he has 24 behind. I don't think so.
Okay. A 24
it's-
is not enough.
So it's 1 to win 31, right? So
Yeah.
30 to 1, assuming you realize your equity.
Right. It's 1 to win more than 31.
But your
It's
pot odds to a
35.
your pot odds to a backdoor flush are 3% here.
Right.
Well, it actually even says it. Sorry.
Yes, he's paying 10%. I've got 3% for 10%, but that's not counting my implied odds.
Yeah.
I mean, the
That's
worst
a
thing
weird
that happen
one.
is hitting a 10. But I don't, and so that's good. There we go.
Broken stack thinks he's so clever.
Yes, he does, and my 5 big blinds are now gone. All right, king 10 should raise and take it.
This is an interesting spot for king. I don't know what to do here at 9 max. What do you guys think? King 10 suited.
The guy's
I
got
would
a
auto top
against
off.
that size, I would fold.
Yeah.
Against that stack size, I would fold it, but I would 3-bet this quite often, almost maybe even pure.
Oh yeah, his stack size is, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause he's just gonna shove on you. And you don't really want to take this hand into a shove.
right, so I think he's gonna call. That's what I think he's gonna do. And that is, by the way, what these sessions are supposed to be about, is seeing how they actually play rather than the way GTO plays or the way we would play. We're trying to learn that, and I've been right twice now.
And that's enough. Twice in a session is
Yeah,
enough.
twice enough. We've been right twice about how they play. However, as we've seen, the way I counter how they play is not particularly effective.
Well, they're lucky because they're, the king 10 suited is lucky because there's no one that can squeeze light here.
Yeah, it's just gonna go, he's just gonna see the flop. And this queen 7, we know nothing about his play. I think he's gonna call, and here's why. This is a huge jump. Because he has a 51 big blind stack.
I think that's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah, that's my guess. We have no stats on him. We haven't seen him play weird. That's gonna be my thing. 3 times, people. 3. All right, here we go. To the flop. Oh, and by the way, this is a very bad call. Even though it's 1 big blind, playing to win 2, 4, and 5.5. Because he's multi-way, out of position. Yes, he dominates this queen, but he dominates fewer queens than he's dominated by. So and this is an extra small raise. You should still fold this. This queen 7 is a better plays
Scotty's gotten it right 3 times, YouTube. Like and subscribe.
All right. And yes, fine, he flopped the best hand. Whatever. I don't think he should bet this. I think he should check call this. And maybe not even check call it according to Joey. I guess if he goes check, it goes bet, call, then he should just fold it. But if it's just 1 bet, maybe he should call it. He does check, checks around. Here we go. Justice. Definitely shouldn't bet now. But he does. Queen 3 should absolutely call this, I think, even multi-way. Or, so I mean, this cheap. And now, can the king 10 raise?
I don't think I raise multi-way.
No, he can't. And Joey might even argue that this is a fold here. So I'm going to speak in Joey's voice, although I don't think I agree with it with this sizing and this play. But Joey says that in a multi-way pot, where the flop is contested by more than one person other than you, top pair does not win often enough to justify continuing. In this
That
case,
happened in
I
games
say
we
this is a
played
different
while.
spot. It's
I
1
think
big
it's-
blind. You're closing the action.
it's
Yeah,
one big
being in position is important here.
there's, the check on the flop says something. The fact that he didn't raise there, yes, he can he can have some 2 pairs here, but yeah, I think you have to, and he does. And there's the ace. And I think this is gonna need to go check, check, check. And the king's gonna win. Check, 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 and the king wins. There we go. Totally reasonable. Fold, raise, fold, 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 fold. Consider defending and then think about it for a second. King 9 suited, never fold. This is never a fold, even to this earliest spot. The fact that he's got a
I
broken
agree.
changes everything. The king 9 suited goes down in value in a broken stack, enough to fold. I don't know.
No, I think that actually might make it a better call being that short, right?
Oh, because you're happy to get it all in with a king or a nine.
Kinda, yeah, like that theory of like it would be more of a fold if you were full stacks.
Right.
But now that you're
Yeah.
only 30 big blinds, it's theoretically a better call.
Right. So let's see. Given, okay, so he is under the gun +1. Yeah, and that's accurate. So the king nine there should be raising in the GTO world, this should be raising 3/4 of the time ish. I'm gonna say,
In GTO world with full stacks.
full stack here, just to go over it. I think that this is gonna be, here's my prediction. 69%, 69% against low jack -2. Right. Let's give it a try. Low jack -2 raises. There we are in the big blind with king nine. And it is a raise. What? Why is it? Under the gun 1. Oh, click on the big blind. There. Thank you. And the raise is. Oh, I'm not, that's right. I'm still on. I'm showing EV. That's why. Strategy. Oh, only 38%. That was sloppy of me. Why is it that? What was I remembering? Now I see it. Was I remembering this? Oh, I was remembering hijack, I guess. Okay, bad for me. No, I don't know what I'm remembering. I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. Anyway, some raising, but with his 29, I think that makes it a worse raise. There's the raise.
Right, yeah, I think your raise frequency would go to almost nothing and you would be
You'd
fully
call.
defending.
Right.
Call.
Now, this is a very, very bad choice from at this stack size, at this position, at this table. In this multiverse, this is a bad call.
Terrible.
Having made it, I think this king nine now plays. I don't think, I think the suitedness, he still has he has one straight draw. I don't think this is a fold. We're not gonna find it meaningfully in any
I
chart.
mean, we could look at GTO Wizard and just give a flat on button.
The problem is
So I did that.
30 big blinds. There's so much.
I did that, yeah, and with full stacks, it is almost a pure fold. If you were at 100 big blinds, there is a little tiny sliver
It does.
of 3-betting.
Okay, so if, in other words, if the button flats this, the king nine suited is a fold.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I did that.
Yeah, Scotty, you have a good point about broken stacks. You just don't have implied odds.
Right, but even without the broken stack, this is a fold. I was completely wrong. Where does the king start playing? Do we do king 10?
King 10 is about 50-50.
Okay.
60-40, more like 60 call, 40
Okay.
3-bet.
King jack suited?
Same, almost the same, 50-50.
Okay, and not raising. King jack
50-50 call and raising, call and raising.
call and raising. Oh, okay, so
Yep.
king 10 suited was 60-40 call and raise.
Yes.
And king 9 suited was mostly fold.
Was 90% fold, 10% raise.
Okay, so I was completely wrong about this. He's gonna call. That's easy.
And I think I would get this wrong in game 2. I would call as well, if assuming full stacks, but
I agree.
I'd
I
get this
think
one wrong.
I would have
I'm
called.
not, I'm not quite good enough to fold this, but I mean, we can see the reasons, right? So we're playing
Yeah.
out of position with a hand that often will be dominated with the king.
Mhm.
And it's pretty hard to hit the straight.
Pretty hard to hit the straight, and the flush is not the nuts.
Yeah, so you can kind of.
Yeah.
You can kind of rationalize into a fold, I guess is the way to put it. You could
Yeah.
justify a fold. I can understand why it's a fold.
I was just wrong. Okay, good. And this should go check, check. He can bet or check. And then he needs to call with his queen if this guy folds. That's what should happen. But the king, queen shouldn't bet. Check, check, good for him. And he chooses not to bet. That seems okay. On the 9, this should, I think it should go with the same thing. Check, check. Maybe the king, queen can bet now. Yeah, king, queen can bet now. And he does. He bets small. That seems good. This call seems
Terrible.
Yeah. Call seems like something that someone who called king 10 suited in the situation would do.
king 10 offsuit.
Yeah.
He's got direct odds to the nuts. And he blocks the flush version of it.
Does he have direct odds? Can you go back one?
No, I said he has a direct draw. I didn't mean odds. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I meant he has direct outs to them. That was the word I wanted. Outs.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not
But
getting,
yeah,
he's not getting the
drawn
odds,
to one card.
but he's not getting, but he has the implied odds. Even with his broken stack. And it's not a particularly visible flush. I mean, visible straight. It's not a 1 card straight. So
So let's see what our king does.
this may be
Our king
bad. This may be bad. I don't think it's egregiously bad. And I'm not even sure it's bad. This is
I'm
bad.
gonna respectfully
very-
be in the other camp on that one.
Okay.
I'm there too.
Yeah, you guys just think it's just a fold.
Yeah, I think it's
What if
Yeah.
this is the action?
pretty clearly a fold.
Closing the action would make it better, but I think it's still a fold. But again, I'm not. These multi-way spots are just always, I'm wrong about so much shit.
Yeah. But having said all that, you go over here. This call is just, this part of it is just terrible. We all agree.
Yes. Yeah.
That is madness. All right. From the US poker. What is that, Larry?
Yeah,
Prometheus?
I thought we could talk about it after the
Okay,
hand,
fine.
but
Okay, good enough. All right, there we go. So that happens. And the flush comes in, and now this needs to go check, check, check. And
now this is interesting
does
because
the king bet, does the king bluff?
if you are going to call this shit in the
Yeah,
in
he should bluff.
position, now you've got the nut flush blocker, and
You should bluff.
if this goes check, check, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, this may have been his plan, and you may be fine with, yeah. So now, if he bluffs, he is a short stack specialist, and if he checks, his call was bad.
Right. My prediction, he's going to check. But this is a good
I
bluff.
think so too, because he should never have called
Right.
pre-flop.
No, he does bluff, but too small.
He's not gonna
I
get, I
saw
don't
it.
think it's gonna get through
Yeah,
maybe he gets this through.
it might work, but I think it's too small. And it does.
It is too small. He's not representing. So,
Genius.
so I think that what we didn't think about, and which I need to start thinking about more, which none of us mentioned on turn, maybe Scotty his brain solver was thinking it, but he didn't enunciate it, is that he has got a really good card to bluff with if you get a diamond on river, which is what he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about that. And maybe there is value calling here. However, also, I don't really see much value in, well, it's a lot harder to bluff multi-way, right? You've got 2 ranges. It's a
Mhm.
lot different. Maybe it's not considering 75%. So Prometheus poker. So Matt Affleck has started using this for multi-way.
Mhm.
He showed it in his, he didn't really use it much, but This is like yet another
Mhm.
web-based solver. And it will solve in real time multi-way spots.
Okay,
So it's very expensive though, but I just thought I'd show it to you guys. So it allow, he said it's not as feature rich as simple three-way, but he's found it to be fine.
right. So my plan is to buy a month of a three-way solver starting next week and have multi-way, have March multi-way. And do it
Okay,
and probably not even do the Monday reviews, probably do Monday and Tuesday, both just have a multi-way March, use it as much as we can. So
okay.
if anybody has an opinion as to which one I should get, I'll do that. You know, I can do simple three-way. We can do DTO. I think it's DTO if it has it, or we can do this one. Um,
So
So-
DTO's like 35 bucks a month. And it's not a solver, it's a kind of a more of a trainer, but you can look up similar
okay,
spots, right?
Yeah.
You've got to kind of match the spot to the texture that you're looking for.
yeah. Well, we might just use it that way, and not use it for real hand, use it for the hands that it gives us and try to get some heuristics that way.
And Prometheus is very expensive. It's 100 bucks a month. I don't know if it's worth it
Okay.
for a month.
I mean,
And simple three-way is, you might be able to get a trial on simple three-way
okay,
that allows you to try it, but you're gonna have to, you want to check your memory requirements, because simple three-way is gonna have some significant memory requirements. The
Prometheus,
bottleneck on a solver is memory.
okay. And the other one is DTO. That's what it is, DTO plus.
Yeah, D is in David, T-O.
Yeah, DTO. Okay, there we go. I'll take a look at that next week when I get
Stick-
home tomorrow, so I'll look at it. All right.
Sticking with this hand.
Yeah.
Go pre-flop.
Okay.
And we get a raise from early position, we get a call, and then we're in the big blind, let's say.
Mhm.
I'm gonna share my screen, Scotty.
Okay.
Just to show you how tight we need to be when we're over calling
In the big blind?
Yeah.
in the big blind. Yep, to a raise and a flat. This is the range here that we should be over calling. So what kind of surprised me was this ace queen, 75, what are we talking, 75% fold? Like
Mhm.
I would get that wrong.
Yeah.
We
I-
talked about
yeah.
the king nine and even ace nine here. All these suited aces, these middling suited aces are folding. I would get those wrong.
I think maybe the way to think about it as a shorthand is draws to the Broadway.
But look at how much we love suited connectors. That's where we are. We are in the low suited connector land where we have the cards they don't.
Yeah, it's just, we're drawing to the nuts, right? Implied odds.
Yeah.
Same with the low pairs, implied odds of the set.
Yeah.
And we're closing the action, so we can't get raised pre-flop.
Yep.
Yeah, this is important.
Yeah.
Range to remember.
I get this so wrong. And this
Like, I would
problem,
never fold queen jack suited. I wouldn't fold that.
Yeah, I get that wrong too. I'm not gonna mix that with the queen jack suited.
here's another.
So I get the ace queen off because of reverse implied odds.
Mhm.
But queen jack suited, I'm not getting that.
Now, this also might inform my little speech about completing from the small blind, that it needed to be tighter, like that jack deuce that I said wasn't egregious. But this assumes that one of these ranges is an under the gun raising range, and instead we had a button limping range. So maybe we have no charts to indicate when we should be completing from the small blind, because nobody is giving us what the limping ranges are.
Mhm.
But just,
Yeah.
I would go back and say, well, I might be very, very wrong about what I said about the limps to complete, like that ace deuce is good and king deuce is easy. And starting around the queen, we should be doing that. I could be so far off there.
Can someone in the team please join a coaching for profit and give us all their behind the scenes MDA overlimp ISO ranges, please?
Yeah. I'm
I
an,
volunteer skate. Skate, can you join a poker for profit organization, please?
all right, here we go. All right, here we are back here. This hand went and, extra points to villain 17 for that. And even if we're saying that his size was too small, it worked and it got the, it worked what he was targeting. He wasn't targeting an ace. He was targeting, the queen or the nine, and he got it. All right. And we are at a different table now, so we're bouncing back and forth between tables. Fives can raise here very rarely. Like 10%, 12%, and just simplify your life and just fold them. Jonathan Little says in a table where, not where you worry about whether you get called a lot. You don't care about the folds. All you care about is how often are you getting 3-bet. If you're at a table where the 3-bet frequencies are low, you can open these pocket pairs in all positions. You could open pocket deuces under the gun if you're in a table where you're just not getting 3-bet. Is that right? Did I overstate Jonathan Little's position there, anybody?
I think your point is taken.
Yeah.
I think I recall that.
Right.
The other point is that remembering Yosa's limping ranges that he MDA'd for us.
Yeah.
There are a lot of limps in this EP with these content hands.
Yeah, other people are limping them a lot. I may be a little too far out of my skis when I say pocket deuces in first position. That might be too hopeful, but a lot more than GTO says. So there's your limp. Nicely done. And after the over limp, everybody should fold except for me. The queen 6 should fold, and I should get to see a flop and probably not plop a 5. So I'm okay.
Yeah, there's nothing you can bluff ISO here.
Yeah, exactly. My reverse implied odds are actually not that bad. I only have one card that kills me. But he completes, not a surprise to see it. I think it's a bad complete. There we go. I am not going to win this hand. Definitely not going to win this hand.
So you can kind of see where if you're going to open the 5s there, you can kind of see the value in not limping, but RFI. You get this flop. The queen 6 isn't coming along, you're against big blind, and you could win the pot on flop.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you're just in this particular time, you're just going to win pre-flop. But yes,
Yeah.
when the big blind goes with you. Okay, so he bets his straight draw. Betting your draws reasonable. This is probably the wrong time to do it against 2 players. Yes, this hand does not hit, my big blinds range at all. This hits the limping range for villain 9. He's got these pairs, but he's got a lot of the, that king 10 offsuit is in that limping range there. Just to show it once again. Where is Mr. Limping Range? Oh, I don't think it's here anymore. I think it's in poker. 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 Here we go. Recommended where is this? Where is the? Do we see it here? I don't see it. Let's do a search. Limp. We're gonna get some porn, people.
Uh,
Here we go. So this is
YouTube special.
exactly. So what this is here, this is the actual data from ignition from people who limped against me. The 100% doesn't mean they limped it 100% of the time. That is normalized, but this is what the range looks like. And so this was an early position limp. And for an EP limp, the king is this area is well represented. With the queen jack offsuit being the most limped hand from early position. So that makes this flop here not a great flop for him to bluff into two players from out of position twice. It works for him. But this is ambitious, is what I wanted to say. Fold, 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 raise, fold, 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 fold. Ace jack offsuit shouldn't instantly fold. He should think about defending, and then let's see. Against the low jack, an ace jack is never folding. Is that right?
I'm thinking
He's
pure
never folding.
call.
And he is against the low jack. Just trying to picture the range in my head. He's calling. He should be doing a lot of calling. Yeah, for the ace 10.
Yeah, I think he just calls
The
this
ace
if it
10 is
goes
gonna,
heads up.
the ace 10 is going to do some bluff raising along with the king, queen. Ace 10, king, no, ace 10, king, jack. The king, queen is gonna do it. There, that's what I think. All right, let's take a look. But I think this is a call, yeah. So low jack raises, we're in the big blind. I think it's gonna be ace 10, that the VPIP is gonna be ace 10, king, jack, queen, queen. This is gonna be your offsuit corner like that. And the ace jack and the ace queen are going to be pure calls. And the ace 10 is gonna do maybe 25% raises or something like that. There we go. 32% raises, the ace jack's basically pure calling, right? So. There's your raise, goes to 3, which these are 2.5 big blind charts. This 3 does make your responses a little tighter, but they don't fold out ace jack. So, yep, mostly call, and he does call. And he is a broken stack? Nope. He's a deathly broken stack. At this deathly broken stack, maybe you should just jam ace jack.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you should just jam ace jack here
You jam the tournament here.
yeah, and just be unhappy that he ran into queens and try to flop an ace. I think, yeah, if you're on this short stack, I think that's what you do. But there he is. And just check fold. The queens, this is a terrible flop. This hits a normal big blind range so hard for the queens. You absolutely cannot c-bet 100%. You can't c-bet range against this. You have to do a lot of checking.
I think this might be
But not queens.
yeah, I think this is probably like a 70% check board if we were looking at theory, full stack versus full stack.
Exactly. But queens can bet it. Queens can bet it happily, and he has the queen of diamonds just in case. And against that weirdness.
So we all see this. This is why we attend these seminars, so that we can
Yeah.
talk out as a group what happens here. So SPR is what? SPR is 1.2.
Yeah.
There's a straight on board. You're blocking bluffs.
SPR is 2. SPR is like 1.8.
No, after his dunk, yeah.
Oh,
What is it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 75%. Okay.
So I don't know if you're incentivized to shove. What do you guys think? I think you just call in position. I mean, SPR is stupid.
If he
I
has
think you just call.
if he has a straight draw or a flush draw, he can call it, and you're gonna realize equity that he's gonna realize his equity that way. I think just call. I don't see a
I
reason to
like
raise
the
at all.
call. I like the call a lot.
If you raise, I mean, what does a raise to 2 big blinds do here?
No, I mean, you could solve this in pile, but
It insults him. I mean, that's nice.
well, it's just
Yeah.
You're in silly season, so it's like,
So he does
yeah,
that.
that's fine. He can do whatever he wants. He's
Yeah,
gonna charge you straws, which is
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense,
you get it.
right?
Yep. So
I mean,
That's
I
not
think we
gonna
can
be
agree that's
pleasant.
what he's doing here. He's charging the draws that he assumes this guy is trying to price himself into.
Yeah. Yeah,
What it looks like is that this guy's trying to set his price for his draws.
right.
And this guy's like,
No.
no, you're not gonna do that. I'm gonna pocket you.
Yeah, which at this size is not the way to get the most money from his draws, but. Okay,
Yeah, I think Derek and I agree that I think a call is best there.
5 is the same as 10 at this point. 5 is the same as 3.
5 is the same as 10, but it's not the same as 3. You'll get some calls from 3 that you won't get from 5.
Maybe. Still, it's pot committing if you bet 3.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
it?
yeah, but you pot for you, but not for him.
Oh, okay. Based on the way he thinks.
Right. No, I don't
okay.
mean that. I mean, not based on the way he thinks, that when you put in 3, if he jams, you're not folding. You're pot committed. But he
Yep.
can call with some things without pitting. He can call 2 more big blinds without pot committing himself. He can have the ace.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give him an insane hand here. Let's give him the ace deuce.
7.
Ace deuce with the ace of diamonds. Ace 7, well, not 7. 7 is too good. Ace 8. Make it an
Okay.
east side. He does. Then the turn comes. He doesn't pick up an ace. His straight doesn't come in, and he doesn't pick up a diamond. Turn comes in a blank, and then he checks and we jam. He probably shouldn't call his inside, nothing, only inside straight draw now. So he can get it. So we can get some calls, I think, from some hands. But without thinking that deeply, just going with the sort of the general, he's trying to see a turn card that's very cheap. Therefore, let's just not let him do what he wants. Is not the worst way to think. Okay. Fold, raise, fold, 3-bet, fold. However, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to go fold, raise, call. And then we're going to squeeze that. And we're going to squeeze big because of that in player. So I think that's what's going to happen. Fold, raise, call. Come on, Scotty, squeeze. Thank you. And now it should go fold. But I don't think it's going to. I think the ace 7 is going to call. Nope, it did. It worked. Yay.
WP,
WP.
well played to the alpha.
Yay. Good. Hooray. Something good happened. All right. Fold, raise, fold. Yeah, 33 big blinds, just fold. Fold. King Jack suited, don't fold. 10-9 fold when that happens. King Jack suited. Mix folds and raises on the button. Anybody? Well, first, put your finger over the stack size and do it at a norm. Do it for your own play. What do you want to do with King Jack suited on the button there? Give yourself 100 big blinds instead of 24.
I think this is mostly a call
Okay.
when you get into
just,
position.
Just stepped in here, so we're assuming a raise from under the gun there, or
Yeah.
from hero, and
That's
it
what's gonna
gets
happen.
to us and with a full stack. Yeah, just call.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got mostly calls there. Let's see. So five spots. That's there. There's the raise. You're on the button. King Jack suited. Mixes.
Mixes.
Oh, there's a
more raising than
considerable amount
calling.
of 3-bets.
Yeah. More raising than calling.
I was wondering if they would ever have any folds mixed in there versus an under the gun, but nope.
Yeah. None. Not a 1. Not even King 10. Oh, you want real under the gun. Let's go back one. None, nada, not even King 10.
No.
Those weren't going to be that
In
different.
fact, the raise frequency increased. Did it?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I'm going to pretend not to understand that and not try to learn that today. Another day I will learn that. And why. Alright, so there's our raise. This 4-5 suited should fold because we should be in a 3-better fold game, but some people don't play 3-better fold, in which case 4-5 suited does some calling. With this broken stack, this would be a terrible call with a broken stack. So I expect him to make it. And that'll bring in the king jack for a call. With his stack getting smaller and smaller, does that push this towards just jam?
Are the king jack suited?
Yeah,
Any tournament players on this call?
Yeah,
What's
I
the play
think that,
there?
yeah, I think against early position, you call with imposite. Yeah, I think the qualities of this hand is that if you shove, the things that call you, the hands that call you are gonna often dominate you.
right.
However, this hand can flop very well. So you call.
Oh,
Okay.
good lord.
Sorry, if King Jack suited, if King Jack suited shoved here, you would just call it off. There's not much you can really do here. For
Would
20
you-
big blinds, you're not folding.
At 20, yeah, you're not folding, but do you jam? Like, let's assume that it went raise, everybody folds to you on the button with king jack suited, and you've got 25 big blinds. Do you just jam it? Or do you call?
I think you would just call. There's no
Oh.
reason to jam it on him.
All right, good enough. We'll bother to,
Like if you thought his range was weak for some reason, you could raise it on him, but there's no reason to like jam it on him.
yeah, it's so early. Yeah, we're gonna look at that just for fun, but I don't think we're gonna be able to solve this hand is the problem.
No, we're not. So this
okay.
is an interesting situation for the king jack suited.
Yeah, with this done, I
With
think
the
4-5
flatter, and I think we all see this in our games, so. I mean, well, he's got 24 big blinds, that changes everything, but if you had 100 big blinds, I think. Am I stationed for flatting here?
I don't think so.
You're fine.
We'll look. This is gonna be important. And we'll up the spat. We'll go to an NL 500 where we've got some calls and see what happens. I'm surprised this 4-5 suited did not call behind. It's a bad call, but I'm surprised he didn't make it. I think he's gonna call. There's his call, and the 9-10 should absolutely fold. But before we discuss that,
What a mess.
what a mess. With only 10 big blinds.
So I think one thing to think about here is that. When you are in a hand like this and you look at the king two suited, it's almost like you could ignore him in your strategy.
Mhm.
Because of his stack size.
Right.
Like he just doesn't matter, right? So. It's annoying if he chooses to donk flop, but you just essentially ignore him.
Right. In fixed limit poker, this is a call from 10-9 offsuit. Those of you who come to no limit from a history of fixed limit need to learn this is now a fold. This is a foldy fold. This was a fold before this happened and is even more of a fold now. Good job, villain 18. Right. And the flop will be deuce, deuce, king. All right. King jack suited.
King Jack suited looking pretty good here with the pair and the combo.
Yep.
Obviously.
Check. When it comes to him, he can bet, but I don't think he needs to.
Let's talk
No,
about, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, there's no betting into 3 different people.
With
It's
second
just
pair
not.
after the checks, yeah. Not till the, not
Yeah,
till,
you've got
he can
Yeah,
bet
you've
the
got second pair and the flush draw, and not flush draw. You don't want to get folded off of that. You could even just say F it and jam here, but it's like a fold or jam situation.
Yeah, and you can, one of the things is if you do choose to raise this and you get jammed on, you just call. You go, oh, I don't mind getting all my money in. You just call and you're fine.
Can we
Wow.
talk a
Yeah.
bit about range here in this situation? So. Do you think that, the RFI raiser here in 4 ways, even with all these broken stacks, do you think he has a C betting range here?
No, I think he has a check raising range.
Yeah, okay. I think, yeah. Agreed.
That's what I think is the world of multi-way, but I'm not sure.
So this is unsolvable. Like solvers can't solve 4 ways.
And aren't. And if they did, they wouldn't have these, the answer would be wrong because these ranges, these hands would not be there,
True.
and they are. All right. Check, check,
A good
check.
check.
He bets, and he bets small, and I think he just gets to win with this. I don't think I call with an inside straight draw.
With dirty outs.
With dirty outs that turn out to be quite dirty. There we go. All right. Now, before we go to the next hand, let's just check one thing here. Let's look at this in a tournament. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is under the gun. This is low jack -2. Safari.
Yeah, I think we can look, that's fine, but I think that we have to really take
There's
it
a-
with a grain of salt because of blinds and antes.
Yeah,
It's hard to,
and
it's hard
there's no
to,
rake.
yeah, and there's no, it's hard to overestimate how much having dead money in the middle affects strategy pre.
Yep. And our size. Oh, hold on, we're still in MTT. We should be at 25. That's what he's got. A lot of jamming.
Well, you don't have an overcall yet. You have just a raise,
Oh,
right?
before that, no, I was looking. Before we saw the overcall.
Oh,
that-
okay, yeah,
That was
gotcha.
that was the question before this nonsense happened.
Yeah, okay.
Even more jamming.
Yeah, let's just get it in.
Just go king jack suited. I have 25. Let's just go. Okay. So I think that this is not a bad translation into a cash game, if you somehow found yourself with 25 big blinds. So, but we don't need to learn it because we shouldn't have 25 big blinds. All right. Fold, jack 8 suited and low jack fold. Yeah, low jack is gonna be jack 9s. Picture it. Jack 10 suited. No, not even jack 9. Jack 9's a fold. Here in the low jack.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah, this is a definite fold, but I was just getting the thing that I was just doing low jack,
Okay.
it's jack 10 suited. There, so here we are, back to our thing, hash, general, NL50, GTO, everything is right. And we are in the low jack, and it is jack 10 suited, good. So fold. We would not be surprised to see an opponent. Oh, this is the queen 9 guy. He's playing. And he's playing for a limp. What? What was the queen 9 then? What was it about me? You wanted to be in with me? Oh,
I
is it a different guy? It's a different guy, different table. Different table.
Yeah,
All right.
so you're two tabling and it's just kind of switching back and
On
forth.
2 table and we're bouncing back and forth. Yep. Okay, so now fold. 7-8 suited gets a walk. 10-5 suited on the button. No, 10-6 suited on the button. 10-5 suited from the small blind. Ace 3 limps. So that's where that is coming from. And now I think I should fold, 5-6 should fold. And 7-8 should think about raising because 7-8 raises against the cutoff a fair amount from the big blind. And against a
Yeah,
limp,
so that's a good question. So I have a tendency to just call here, and I think you've got a really good point. This might be a better ISO.
yeah,
I think I take the passive route. Attach another P word if you want. Because it's gonna be very hard to play post.
yeah. So this is not 100% 3-bet. Against the cutoff there. This is 25-ish%, so it's perfectly fine. the reason to just check behind is, look at this. I get to see a free flop with a hand that flops well. And then when I do well, I have tremendous implied odds, and when I don't, I just fold. It's cheap. The
Well, let
argument,
me ask the group. So Mike or Alexander, if you get limped cut off here, how often are you gonna ISO 8-7? How often are you gonna check?
I would probably limp behind here most of the time, and I might decide if it might be villain dependent, like if I've been on this table for a while and seen what's been
Yeah.
going on. But probably as a default, I'm probably limp behinding.
That's a good
Limping
point. If you
behind.
see a bunch of limp folds from this guy, that changes the complexion of it.
right. Oh, and I want to point out one thing about these ranges. You see you say these are the usual suspects for 3-bets. They are the 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5. The cutoff is where they are the least.
Hmm.
So versus, I mean, I'm just going to go back each one you're going to see. So let's fold the cutoff. Let's go against the button. You know, fairly robust, 31, 28, 20, 18, those kind of numbers. Against the cutoff, they drop down to 11, 10, 10, the strip goes way down. You go to the hijack, it bounces back up. 25, 21, 22, 15 is still low, but I mean, it's there. Against the low jack, it's still there. In that same 25 range. And this is going to go all the way back until you get to it's going to be it's going to go down in these guys here. Yeah, it's going to be same thing under all the way back to under the gun. You're going to see these well represented. The 5-4 is smaller, but look at them there. Even against even against this position, well represented. Under the gun, very well represented in that sort of 25% range.
Yeah.
The cutoff is the exception.
So maybe this
Cool.
can be an ISO sometimes. I think I'd like to give it a try. Experiment with these low suited connectors against.
Right.
Well,
So,
as my
but
homework
that's
this
against,
week, I've been just raising everything, either raise or fold. I've been playing.
yeah, but they've given you the gift of you don't have to fold. You get to see the flop no matter what, unless you raise and get 3-bet, and you're not getting 3-bet a lot here. This is
Well,
not,
if they limp,
yeah. So against the raise, we just went over it just to see what our raising range was, and we said, just calling it can't be wrong because you do a lot of calling. But against the weak late position limping range, maybe there's more money, just raise them. Maybe that pushes the raise up. I think I would.
Yeah, I might add this in. I mean, it makes sense. It's just, you've got to get comfortable with playing what a hand that can flop blank.
Yeah.
Out of position after you ISO.
Right. But I should be, assuming it wasn't the cutoff against any other position, I should have made myself comfortable with it already. in
Yeah,
pots. So
that's a good point. I don't hit these enough.
yeah.
They're just incredibly hard to play if you miss, and you miss a lot.
They are well represented.
True.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. There is no doubt that there is profit down here in our, you want to get a 3-bet stat like Joey's or Nick's. You need these.
Yeah.
And they're
Agreed.
easy to remember, and they're well, as I said, they're well represented. And they're not,
I ended up playing a lot of pots out of position with hands like 7-6 suited or 7-8 suited.
Yeah.
To limpers.
Yeah,
and that kind
yeah.
of
It's
stuff.
just, I mean, it's
'Cause I
not
was
easy. I mean,
doing,
you
like,
gotta really be comfortable with repping and king high flop or an ace high flop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
So
if nothing else,
that
you
was
could
my
say,
homework for the last week. So
oh, did you do it?
yeah.
Good.
So I would raise stuff like this. And so I ended up playing a lot of stuff out of position
Mhm.
and I got into like 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet. I even did a light 7-bet to some guy.
Jesus God.
So there was this guy who was like 100% stealing.
Mhm.
So I started like 3-betting him with like a black card.
Right.
And then he started 4-betting. So I folded for the first 4 bets. And then we got it in, like he 6-bet me and I 7-bet him light with a small amount. And then he folded to the 7-bet.
Oh boy.
So I was just shitting bricks.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
I had ace 10 off.
Yeah. That's
So
light.
that's my 7-bet range.
That is light.
So it was really interesting. I think I got a lot more aggressive. So
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was a good exercise.
Yeah.
For a week.
Yeah. So for getting comfortable with this, let's talk about a very simplified strategy that isn't very bad. It may not be the best one, is play the flop, 3-bet C-bet. And you may get a lot of folds there that you don't deserve. And then, 3-bet C-bet, evaluate on the turn.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Let me pose this, talking about the limp and then ISO from the big blind. So a raise, an open raise from cutoff, and a 3-bet from the big blind, and then the hands that should fold, right, are going to be like hands that you may not dominate. That the hands that will fold will be hands that could dominate a 7 or 8-7 suited, whereas a limp and an ISO, you're going to get called by a lot more times with hands that will dominate 7-8 or 6-5, right? Does that track? Do you see what
Sounds
I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
I do, but we're not raising to 3 big blinds here. We're going 4.5, 5. We're going 5.5.
Yeah, yeah. My size would be to 5.
Yeah, I think yeah, ace-7 suited, sure, might stay in, but ace-7 offsuit's going away. King-8's going away.
Are the
His-
suited versions going away?
His weird 9-8 offsuit and 10-8 offsuit. Yeah, a lot of those are going away, but the suited ones aren't. So
So I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to like kind of figure this out in my head. Like if I do prefer to raise these as opposed to just check my option.
okay, so I think this is this is a cheap answer. It's villain dependent because everything is villain dependent. But we've been seeing villains who limp 60% of range and then call, against a raise call 70% of the time. Against those guys, just take your cheap flop. But against the ones who limp too much and fold on the flop and fold pre-flop a lot, I think you're printing.
Yep. I think like before I would have just checked this, but after spending a week, betting this all the time, I think that's definitely the better strategy against the pool that I play.
Yeah.
Because the pool that I play, they want to just limp in and see
Yeah.
a flop. They don't want to pay a
Derek, you
big
play
flop.
live mostly, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I play like against the worst players in the world, probably. So I have a very
But you have to live
stilted
in Texas to
view.
do it.
What?
I said, yeah, but you have to live in Texas to do it. That's negative EV.
I live near Fallsview
Okay.
in Canada. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different game. Okay. Okay.
No, Ontario is still pretty bad. Those
Yeah.
truckers, man,
yeah.
Okay.
they're just awful.
Okay. So what he does though is he goes for the squeeze. Oh, well, we didn't even see that coming. Bad complete, which makes the squeeze even better. The squeeze size is too small. For this should be, well, maybe not. 3, 4. Yeah, it should be. with himself is 5. This should be 6. And the ace 3 is not folding. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. So we're gonna play a big flop with 8 high.
Yeah.
Love it.
Talking about the worst players in the world.
Yep.
Now he's got to
Well-
rep that king. Now, this is weird though, for multi-way.
It
And
is.
you have nothing. I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna rep that king.
But
All right.
I mean,
My only note is, so that happened.
So at this point, yeah, I mean, unless you get a straightening turn card, I think you're
Can't
probably giving up.
Yeah, we can't continue.
A 6 or a 10 here.
Yeah.
No.
You can't continue here. It'll work, but you just can't. And he does. And now it's gonna work. Please work. Okay,
Oh, it works. Payoff.
there you go.
Good job.
I was in a similar situation versus a poster
Mhm.
with a hand similar to this last night, and I tripled. And he shoved on me
Oh, wow.
on
guess the
flop,
only-
on river,
so
actually, after I tripled, and I was like, oh, it didn't work. I guess I'll keep my
Hey,
last 20 big blinds.
Yes. And
I hate this so much, but it's like because you unblock all the garbage he has. You know, like, oh, this should not have worked.
yeah, which
Yeah.
which
You unblock all his garbage. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
is
the only
one
thing he
hand
has
you can
going for him,
Uh-oh.
the only thing he has going for him is he has a flop that's best for him. Like that's the only thing he has going for him.
right. But this guy is in.
Oh,
But this guy is in the world of his limping range is the world of offsuit kings and queen jack offsuit. I mean, he is right in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right
I
in
would
his
say that-
wheelhouse.
Called this flop, so this flop is called by a king, clubs, sometimes a 9, 10 jack, 10 queen, jack queen, boom.
And then the queen comes.
Right. So 10
I
jack.
wouldn't have the balls to bet here.
He-
I don't think I'd have the guts to bet here.
Oh no,
I
I
don't
don't
make
think it's a
that
good
bet.
bet, but boy,
I just
It-
check and lose.
so what?
I just check and lose.
Yeah,
Here, I
yeah.
don't have the balls to bet here.
I think this is a good check lose spot, but
no, it gets through because why not,
goes
right?
to- he goes to villain 16.
Villain
Yeah.
16 is just killing it today.
Now, is he the one who also did? Hold on, did villain 16? Was he the bluff with a king? Was he? Well, never mind. I'm not going to go back that far. Do you remember the? No, the bluff from the king, the king of diamonds bluff. That was down here. That wasn't him. You guys know the hand I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was one of the players on the bottom. Yeah.
I don't even know if it was at this table, to be honest. All right, there we go. Raise. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be a raise, but it is not a pure raise. In the low jack opening, king queen this folds a lot. The spade club. I should fold this in my thing. I think this folds. No, wait a minute. No, I'm thinking of against. I'm thinking of against that position. This never folds. This is a raise. This never folds. I was picturing the range, the big blind against this. Okay, having done that, there's the raise. And so raise, 6s should fold. We wouldn't be surprised to see a call, given how people play. We would be very surprised to see a 3-bet or a jam, which you might get with this short stack. Maybe jamming is not the worst thing. 33, That's a little big. But at 25, just jam it. 9-6 fold, king 10 suited. This is gonna be mostly calling. We found this.
No, we just saw this, didn't we? Didn't we
Yeah.
see that this actually has a lot of three betting?
King 10 suited against the, oh yeah, it does. It's got some calling and it's got 60% three betting and some calling.
Assuming a full stack, of course, he's got a micro stack.
We got a micro stack. Yeah. At a micro stack, he should have jammed long ago, but why jam against the end of the gun? He should fold. He should just fold and add to his stack. All right, but he's gonna call. And we'll see what happens with the sixes. Sixes call, not surprisingly. This is going to bring in the king 10 suited for a call. And this, oh,
Look
a
at
weird
you.
micro
The min raise.
min raise.
Look at you min raising.
Min raise.
Half your stack in.
Right, so I should just knock these sixes out now.
Can I ask a group of question real quick?
I should
So
just-
notwithstanding his stupid stack size, have you guys seen a lot of these min raises recently? This has become very common on both ACR and global for me.
No, I have
I've
not
seen-
really.
see a lot of them.
Yeah, it's weird, and I can't.
They have
remember.
not
I
been
think I
able-
asked about this a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, they have not been aces.
Yeah,
You know, when you look and go, what hand makes sense here? Why does he want to keep me in like this? They're not. I want the initiative for as cheap as I can get them, maybe. Or
that's the only conclusion I can come to.
there's also misclicks.
The
But if you
misclick is the
you
other.
don't notice your raise, so they hit their, they hit just the raise button. Cause it's the default that's sitting there. But I think at this point, against this 30, I think I should just jam. And knock him out and go heads up against this guy for 8 with this dead 2.5 in.
Yep. Making dead money
Yeah,
here. Free dead
Yeah.
money.
I think I should play like me. There we go. And then that happens. You know,
Of
you
course.
gotta be kidding me.
He flops the nuts.
You're
I
drawing
know.
to a chop.
I have outs to a chop.
At least the damage is minimal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, that was fun.
That's okay. You still got that free 2.5 there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. There we go. Different table. Fold, 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 raise. I don't expect to see him raise it, but he should. Fold. Call some. Very little raising, I think. Fold,
Yeah.
and if it's folded to the queen 5 suited. Queen 5 suited against the hijack. He should. Do against the hijack, the queen 5 is gonna have. A little bit of calling. And a little bit of raising, and so. For me, I think this is gonna be a call. That's what I think we're gonna see. When the 8-7 comes in. The queen 5 suited, I guess, becomes a fold. And we'll be able to look that up. So that'll be good. That's what I'm gonna predict. Now, that's not what's gonna happen. Fold, king 5 limps instead of raises. I fold, the 8-7 now should absolutely limp. Or ISO, depending on how the king 5 has been playing. But I don't think he should fold this.
What?
Yep, you were saying? You're gone. Oh,
I
there you are.
always bet here.
You're back. Say again?
I always bet. It's always bet, I think.
You raise this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Fine.
ISO this.
Sure, sure. That seems fine. It's not wrong to call it, you got a suited connector in position. And you can call a raise, and if you raise it and you get 3-bet, you may have to fold it. You don't want to do that. But sure, he does the call. And now, I don't think the queen 5 should ever squeeze this. And he doesn't. We'll play the hand and then we'll go look at, see if this had been played without a limp. We'll see what happens. So there we go. Great. Check, check, bet, fold, fold. Great. All right, now. Hijack is the razor in this hand. Hijack's the razor, button with his 7-8 suited. Doesn't
Hijack limps.
call. Oh, I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong.
Hijack limps.
I know, but we're playing had it played normally.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we don't have a solver range for the limp. The limps we have to work out ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
Right, but we have a solver range. I thought the 8-7 suited was playing here a lot, and it is folding a ton. Then once he folds, the big blind with the queen 5 suited, I think is doing some folding. I think it's folding about half, raising about a quarter, and calling about a quarter.
Hmm.
I may
Okay,
not be good at
Scotty.
I may not be good at poker.
That was,
I'm good at
that was
remembering.
pretty spot on.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Not good post flop, but I could be the best. I could become the best pre-flop player ever. Now, once the button calls, though, this is the interesting thing. What happens to this range? I think these all go away. I think this goes into a tight land there. Let's see. Button call. Now the big blind. Yep. Look at how much tighter. And with suited stuff. This is, I mean. If we did not make the point before about how much tighter you are with an extra caller, I think this says volumes. All right. King 5 suited here, can raise even in this position with the poster there. I think it probably makes it better not to, because the number of chips you have to commit to doing it. So I think this becomes a better fold in this situation.
Yeah, I always fold this.
Yeah, the ace-10 having posted, I think should raise, even though the ace-10 is
And
not.
Derek, do you say you always fold it even if there wasn't a poster?
Um,
Because it's in range.
I'm full, like under the gun. I'm folding king 5 suited. Yeah.
Yep, it's not
I
a
think
full
I leave.
frequency range, but it's in there. It's in there almost 50% of the time.
Okay, I was wrong.
So you see it. It's,
Okay.
these are, so what I would say is this. If you are folding king 5, king 6, king 7, and king 8, you are not taking you're not taking advantage that you should.
Okay.
If you decide to simplify your life and go, I'm going to put all the king 5, king 6, and 7 into king 9 and king 8 and just raise these pure, I wouldn't argue with you for that simplification.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be slightly cuter and for board coverage and say, I'll put the king 8 and the king 9 and I'll combine the 7, 6, and 5 into 6. So you do 6 and 9.
Yep.
It's
That works.
yes, you're with a 6 more than an 8, but there are valid reasons to increase your number of 6s there.
So
But
your
if
board coverages.
But if you just go, I'm going to fold all of this, you're not going to be raising 10.3%.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's that.
And the only reason I brought it up, Derek, was because this was one of those ranges when we kind of started this group. Pretty much everyone didn't realize king 5 was actually a frequency raise from under the gun. Like it was a kind of a surprise
learned
to a
something
lot of
today.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because I usually just raise king 9 and
Yep.
maybe
Wow.
king 8. I don't
Yeah.
play the king 5 suited. So
Yep.
I learned something. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yep, that's good. And in my thing for the class, I would raise this one because it's the spades. I would raise spades and hearts here, but I wouldn't in this configuration. Because with the poster, I have to, this brings me up, I have to go to 4.5, and at 4.5, this is not a raise. So I would fold this, and I expect he's gonna fold this. The ace 10, we don't know him, but the fact that he posted makes me think he's going to just check it. You shouldn't be posting here ever, ever, ever. But having done it, I think he should raise. And without having done it, ace 10 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the pre, he should fold it. He should be raising ace jack here, some, and not even pure. So that's this position here. Oh, I'm wrong. Pictured it wrong. So some raising, so he should definitely raise this one with that. And it's ace. This is what I was picturing. I guess it's not. This doesn't look right at all. Oh no, this is right. Yep. Okay, I remember it now. Here we go. Let's see what happens. King 5 folds, the ace 10 raises, good for him. Sevens should just fold. They have some re-raising here, but it's a sliver. Fold, 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 fold. Sixes should absolutely defend. And they should defend by calling, no raising. Sevens decide to call. If you have a calling range here, sevens will do some calling there, and they'll do some folding, so not egregious. The fact that this guy's got only 66 big blinds makes this worse, I think. You guys agree with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it not as good. Yep, correct.
But the six is 100% now call. I mean, the sixes should absolutely not 3-bet it. That would be a disaster. And they should absolutely not fold. I don't think this is gonna bring the king, queen, jack in. I don't think we've seen him be that egregious, but now it did. This is very bad. And now the sixes even more should call. Should call twice.
Boom.
Because of that.
Now, this is, I think, an interesting situation. I'm curious what you think about how he should play his set here out of position forwards. I've
Check
got some opinions, but I'm curious what other people are gonna say.
Check raise against the ace 10.
Yeah, we hope for bet here.
And there's a chance that this seven's gonna call, and this queen jack is a very good chance to call before it gets to his check raise.
I tend to fast play my sets because my player pool plays so loose. So I just fast play everything.
The other
Right.
interesting, yeah, that's a good plan. The other interesting thing is we look at the equity and how it's diluted four ways. So if this was heads up, his equity is gonna be 90%. But
Yeah.
then when you go four ways, all of a sudden your equity becomes significantly less.
Right.
This is another quality aspect of these sessions, is understanding multi-way equities.
I had a
Like,
hand
what's
where
interesting here is, I mean, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Derek.
I had a hand where I flopped bottom set against like 8 players, and I was just totally lost at how to play the
Yeah,
hand.
that's insane.
So
I mean, you're probably then approaching less than 50% equity.
so I just fast played it, even though it was a super dangerous board.
Well-
Because there's so many players in the in the freaking hand. So
Yeah.
I just decided, well, I guess I'm gonna flip for stacks here.
Right. No, I'm in
It's bottom
favor of
set.
fast playing this, but I don't think fast playing means leading. I think fast playing means check raising instead of check calling. And yes, there's a 7-9 available. We do not
Yep.
have the nuts. And there's 8-8
No.
available and there's 10-10. But I don't think he should bet out.
No, I think that there's zero dunking in the situation.
I played a very similar situation where I flopped bottom set on like 8, 10 queen,
Mm-hmm.
and I really didn't know what to do.
That's worse because the 9 jack has played more than the 9-7. So
Yeah, so like someone could have 9 jack very easily, and there's
Very
like a bajillion players. So
but
I went totally.
it's time to go broke with a set.
Yep.
You've got draws to the boat.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see, yeah, so this is, you got your dream here, right?
And he bets large, which is great.
Top pair, top kicker, and
Right.
you're right, queen jack might come up. This is the most interesting hand so far in this session.
Yeah.
Queen jack might come along.
Yeah, if queen jack comes along, then you're ecstatic with your check raise. If queen jack folds and it's heads up, I still think you should check raise here, but the check call isn't the worst thing in the world because it's
So
only
theory is that, like, if we were to put this in a heads up solver, theory is that you fast play this at a very high
yes,
frequency,
bottom set you fast play, especially
unblocking.
or which is, with this flush draw there, but it does have locked up equity, but still get it all in.
And
Oh,
it's not, yeah, and it's about unblocking all his value.
right. Yeah,
So here, this is gonna, I think you fast play. But
oh,
sizing is another question we can get to.
very big.
When I see the sevens come in, I just thinking Vegas and the Mirage.
Yeah,
I'm not really worried about someone with 7-9.
No.
Or even 7-9 of spades.
let him have 7-9. We'll boat up. So I don't want him to have 7-9 of spades, but still. Because one of my boats now is his out. The 8 of
Mhm.
spades is my boat and his straight flush.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, straight flush.
So
Yeah,
seeing
didn't
these
even think
sevens,
about that.
seeing these sevens
Next
call
level, Scotty.
surprise me, but it surprises me seeing them call to this size.
Yeah, this isn't that. I think some, and you guys can tell me if I'm off base, but I think some villains, they just don't like to fold on flop to want the first bet.
Sure.
If they have a hand that they envisage has equity, they just don't want to fold.
Right. This queen jack has got to fold now. He cannot count on his queen or his jack being good. Only his straight is good,
He's only drawing to floats.
and he's only drawing to 3 outs
Good point.
that are clean. Now, granted, he is drawing to 4 outs.
Yeah, good point. So
Yeah, so he's got to
let's
fold.
see. Yeah. Okay, now before we show, you might flat, but what size? So we've got a pot of 23.
26.
Our
I'm raising
SPR
it
is
to
what?
26.
Our SPR, effective SPR against, I guess we have to think about our SPR against 7-7 maybe? I don't know. It's hard to understand the SPR here, but because we have two players varying stack sizes. And let's say our SPR is like 4 or whatever. No, it's less than that. Let's say it's 3.
Mhm.
What's your size here, guys?
I'm making it 26. Basically, that's just
I like
pot
it.
committing.
I like
So
26.
you're just making a little bit more in pot.
Oh, yeah. Like, we're playing for stacks here. If someone has the straight,
Yeah.
you get fucked.
Not well, vote up.
I like 26. I also like 20. I like anywhere from 20 to 26. I don't need 30 here.
Yeah, I think you're right. 20, 25, 20, 26. That's
Yeah,
good.
in that range. Yeah. Little low, but he just really wants somebody to stay with him.
Yeah. And he did a slow play, so he's playing this slow.
Yeah, he's playing it fast that nobody, interestingly though, the sevens, he's giving the sevens the direct odds they need. So
Interesting.
that's too small. We don't want to be giving anybody direct odds. That's when we're giving a 7 direct odds. That's bad.
Yeah.
But only pocket sevens. If he only had a 7, it wouldn't be. But if he had a 7 suited, we're totally giving him the right odds.
Yeah,
Is-
the 2 additional outs put us there.
Yeah, but
Any
no-
7, any 9.
Yeah. Yeah, any 7 and any 9 have 2 fewer outs than 7 have, but give him a spade draw to go with his 7s, which is easy.
So this is such a good argument for not c-betting with top in a multi-way pot. I mean, obviously, it's not every time that someone's gonna flop a set, but it's so much more likely for ways.
Yeah. But I think he has to get out of the way, but then he looks at, but I have the ace of spades to this
Yeah.
size. but he doesn't have enough behind to make it worth it.
And also, he got called twice by a big bet multi-way.
Yeah.
I think if there's any situation where we can all learn how to exit early, it's here.
Yes. Without the ace of spades, trivial fold. With the ace of spades, fold. Or, you could,
Oh, the dream.
that just got easy.
But it's not really the dream because you forced out the 7.
No, this is great. You want the 7 out. The 7's the only one who has any equity against you.
Okay.
This is great. This is terrible.
All right, now this becomes yet. Well, there's only one answer here, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, you're never calling.
No, jam or fold.
Yeah. So
Ah.
it's just
I didn't come here to fold a set, even though somebody could have 7-9.
and let's talk about how atrocious the 7s are playing here. This is just lighting money on fire.
Yeah.
So if there was never any time where if there's never any thought about putting money on ignition before, now I clearly am going to put money on ignition.
Yeah. There you go. And there's the jam. And now he has to call.
Look at his pot odds versus his equity.
Yeah. He should call now, having
He's
made that
pot committed
mistake.
himself.
All right. Let's not see the turn in river. Let's just move to the next hand.
We really don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not see it happen.
Six. We
Does
got a
he vote?
6.
Does he vote up?
Come on, vote.
6.
No. Bad play is rewarded. That's why poker's alive and well.
Meanwhile, I, with my 105 big blinds, am furiously scribbling notes that will do me no good.
So I think, Scotty, as you grow your YouTube channel, you now have your YouTube short.
Yes, I could do that. If we were trying to get people to watch, we have a lot of hands that we could just take out and say, look at this hand and put a banner on and start doing that, but I'm not going to.
And you got to put that, all the poker players put their crazy faces, like the
Yeah,
surprised, amazed faces.
yeah, exactly.
So
That's your 10-minute short.
Yeah, what, when I
can I-
retire, I'll try to become a YouTube sensation. Oh, by the way, I went viral on YouTube for real.
Again, another one?
No, the other one. It's up to 1 million views.
Are you
Of the
serious?
show.
No.
No, not the one of us. A clip from my show has 1 million views and is doing me no good because I didn't post it, someone else did, and it doesn't have our names on it anywhere.
Oh, bummer, man.
And so I said, well, we need to, go and put a link to the thing and say, look, that's us or something like that. And my partner, she said, no, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do it. It's like,
You got to post a link to it in the
I'll post a link
chat.
to you guys. I'll find it next week and I'll post a link to it.
Is that recent? Just happened?
No, we found it recently. It's been out
Okay.
for a while. I think it's from, I don't know how many months ago. I have to look it up. But yeah, I'll post it and we'll talk about it. That will be fun. Anyway, moving on. Poker. Ace 8 suited, opens. Absolutely. 100% just opens 100% of the time. Here, the king jack suited. This early, I think I would fold.
I think it's a 3-bet.
Is it a 3-bet this early?
I think so. I think your suited Broadways are all 3-betting.
Okay.
Well, I take that back. The suited kings, Broadways.
Suited kings. Okay, great. We'll go look at that. And then if he doesn't, it should just fold around. The ace 8 should take it. Let's look at that. Yep, this is a full ring. So under the gun raise, under the gun 1. Yep. Good.
Not pure though. Okay.
Not pure, but enough. If you
But
simplify,
notice the ace jack and ace 10,
not pure.
like
Less.
much less frequent.
Yeah. if you wanted to simplify this range and do king, jack suited and king 10 suited pure and lose ace 6, ace 7, ace 9, and then do ace jack pure, that wouldn't be a bad simplification. Ace jack, king 10, ace 5. I don't know. Ace 4, king 5. Yeah, that doesn't seem fun at all. Yeah, screw king 5 if you want to simplify it. Ace jack, king 10, ace 4, ace 5. Fold everything else. That's not bad. Let's see what happens. Raise is slightly larger. I think we're going to see a call. There we go. And by the way, ain't no calling. And let's give ourselves a calling range. Let's go to, oh, we can't do the 200s. Can we do the, 500? No, we don't, I don't have it. If anybody wants to look this up in a range that has calling in it to see whether this is a bad idea, I'd like to see it. Moving on, having
I'll
called,
see it.
everybody's got to fold to this.
Are you gonna take a look, Mike?
Yeah, I'm wondering, so 150
Okay.
has it, let's see.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have any calls.
Yeah.
This early.
There is a tiny bit of sliver of calling only at ace, queen suited and queens
Okay. We just that early, we just don't,
at 150, at 150 big blinds.
right. Okay. Sounds good. And this is only 50 big blinds here. All right, if anybody wants to make a bet, whether this king 8 offsuit calls, I will bet you however amount of money you would like that the king 8 offsuit folds.
I would agree.
Yes. Go. Anybody want to make a bet whether the king 8 offsuit is now saying, oh, god damn it. Yeah. All right. In this situation, this guy does not have a c-bet range under any circumstances here.
Yeah.
So now you have to look at the qualities of this hand. Hold on 1 second.
Why doesn't he have a c-bet range?
Well,
Because the calling range, well, yeah, I don't know if he doesn't have a c-bet range, but a theory would be that his calling range is going to be very strong.
Much stronger than ace 8 on average.
so in theory, there shouldn't be any flats in this position. Well, we saw there's slivers. That was 6 max, right, Mike?
No, that was 9 max
Oh, you
under
gotta be
the
9 max.
gun.
Okay.
It was under the gun with a under the gun +1 call.
So if we looked at an ag report here, there would be, I don't know about Deegs positions because this is, he essentially has, what's his flatting range? 0.2% or something?
Stand by.
So
0.8%.
yeah, so I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I mean, but so solver's at the door, right? Because solver essentially plays a billion times and knows zone ranges. So it doesn't really matter what solver does here.
Yes.
In theory, against a later position on king high flops, you do get to have some c betting. King high flops are actually, in theory, king high flops are actually your highest frequency c bet. You still have plenty of checks out of position, but this king in theory is really good because in the solver, the imposition flatter has very few kings that he flats.
Right.
You've got like a significant pair advantage.
Now, in the wild,
Yes.
this is why I think that this is not going to be a range bet, which is we have against an even vaguely thinking player. We have a strong range here. He has to have a relatively strong range to come in with it. Strong range against strong range out of position, you just can't bet range.
Agreed. I think, yeah. So theory allows you to bet at some frequency on a king flop. However, we know that in positions flatting range is going to have a lot more king X than what,
And suited cards.
and you flop nothing as well. So
So once you look at it and say, first of all, that in GTO world, when you're out of position, you do a lot of checking, just simply put. And the reason is because you also do a lot of check raising, and that check raising is better than leading when you have it, and is much more fun when you don't have it and it works. So you have that. The other thing is this, at a minimum, this puts you into, since I'm not betting range, I've got to go into Jonathan Little's buckets. And I've got to say, premium, marginal made, draw, and junk. And you look at this board and you go, does my range have a lot of draws on this board? First of all, do I have premiums on this board? Yes, I have a lot of good kings. It's a 2 flush, so whenever I opened clubs, I've got it. Whenever I opened hearts, I've got it. So I don't have to look very hard for draws. I certainly don't have to look for 6, 7, 8 as a draw. And an 8, and drawing to an ace. So this isn't premium. It isn't a draw. This is marginally made, because that is an ace is sometimes good, or it's junk if he tries to win the pot. So with that, this becomes a check fold.
So, Brocus, Andrew Brocus says here that 2 bad things have happened when you're playing out of position in SRP. You've gotten flatted and you're deep. And even though people hate to see that to check here because they get bluffed too much, that's not the purpose of the strategy in poker. Is not to get bluffed, not ever get bluffed. The strategy in poker is to minimize losses, maximize profits.
Yes.
And this configuration is not goals.
Yep. So he checks. Villain 15 can easily bet here. This is premium. He does. There's the fold. All is right with the world. Fold, fold, fold. Raise the king 7, kids. Raise the king 7. Jam the ace jack suited with 19 big blinds. Just jam. Fold, 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 fold. We suspect this ace jack suited is going to call. We suspect the king 7 suited is not going to raise. We suspect he's going to fold or limp. Okay, he does. He raises small. All right, ace jack suited is not going to jam. He's going to call, but he should jam. He might raise small, but I don't think he should with his stack size. I think he should just jam. He raises tiny.
This is the one big blind.
There's your one big blind. And
This is
this king 7 suited should
so
call.
hot right now.
Yeah, 5s should fold because he's not closing the action, and either of these stacks could choose to jam, but he calls.
And also, he doesn't have the implied odds.
Right, he's not getting the right. 30 and 5. Yeah, he's really not. Yeah, he just needs to fold. Jack 3 and 5-3 need to go away. King 7 needs to call. I don't see any reason why he should jam now. He calls and just see a flop. And yay for king 7. He should check. The ace jack is probably going to bet. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, 5-5 has to check. There we go. Now king 7 can bet, and he should. I think he does. He gets called.
Got the
by
ascent of an open ender, and he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think betting's fine.
Yeah, he's got double belly buster there. And the 5s need to fold. And now King
Nice
seven,
pot committed.
check call,
Yeah, check call.
think. I mean, he doesn't get any value from a 10 when he check calls because the 10 checks behind. You could argue that he shouldn't have bet on the flop with a kicker of a 7, that he should have been in check call mode here. But maybe I'm a little kerfuffled by seeing the hands. But I still think once it goes check, 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 top pair with even a bad kicker gets elevated a lot. So, but now having been called, yeah, he should go to check call here. And the ace jack doesn't try for it, so he wasn't gonna make any money anyway. That seems perfectly reasonably played by the king 7. Now, what about the ace jack on the turn? I mean, this raise here is dumb.
Yeah.
On the turn.
He's
He's,
got an over and a gutter, right? Is that, am I
Yeah,
reading that right?
yeah. He's got it. He should call here. He doesn't need the implied odds. He's getting the express odds here. It would be a mistake to fold. Okay. Fold, fold. Queen 10 in the low jack is a fold.
Fold.
Does it play ever in the low jack?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I think the jack 10 has a sliver, but anyway, but we're gonna fold it. And like that, unless this happens. I mean, we're still folding, but I would just like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, the limp from a 279 big blind stack. Anybody want to
That's
predict what's going on here? Since we have not seen this guy play every hand, we would have noticed this already.
that's a pretty normal line to take with. He's just thinking like, oh, I have 3, 4 suited. He's just probably gonna check it back. Meanwhile, the king 4, that's actually probably a raise blind versus blind, but whatever.
He's not blind
What are
versus,
we questioning?
he opened limped.
Oh,
three-
he opened. Oh
Yes.
my.
Right. This is what I think this is. But I will let somebody else speak to what just happened here. If anybody has an opinion. Other than bad.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
So I've been off and on in this. I've been multitasking here, and I just was
Just
looking at the start of this one.
Blind versus blind, a limp to him. It's like, no. Oh, I see why you saw it. It looks like he's a small.
Yeah,
blind.
that's what I saw too. I was looking at the queen 10 and the low jack and looked back, and that's what I thought.
Right, no. What has happened is this. I think that it is so fun to win a hand with 4-3 and 2-3. That he decided, because he hasn't been doing it with every hand. You know, if this is in range to limp, then everything's in range to limp.
That's obviously egregiously bad, but
Yeah,
he's
but
doing it then.
But I think what it is that it's egregiously bad, but it might be also egregiously fun. That might be
It's
what-
just the fact that this happens in 50 NL is just baffling to me.
Yeah, let's keep
Yeah.
our eyes on this villain
I
13.
lost a huge pot when the flop came 4-4-3.
Yeah, that's what's so fun about it.
I mean, it's akin to the people that say, oh, I got 6-9. I'm gonna raise my favorite hand, 6-9.
Right, yeah.
Right.
So,
Only the 6-9 of hearts. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
So, this does not make the queen, this does not change the queen 10 into a raise. Here.
Yeah,
But
it's too
the ace-
skinny, of course.
Yeah, but the ace 10 is a great ISO now.
It's just not cutting the mustard. However, yes, the ace
Too small?
10.
Too small. Unless.
Unless,
Unless he
unless,
also bet it.
exactly. He thought it was 2
Well,
blinds
he's on the
there or
button.
something.
He can make it a little smaller, but I would go like 3 big blinds here, right?
4.5.
4.5.
4.5.
Standard.
Eh,
The world of this telephone call says 4.5.
And that's,
You need
yeah,
more.
and that's the Jonathan Little,
Yeah.
pokercoaching.com sort of
Yeah.
directive.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
it's pot. It's pot.
Yep.
Well, I guess this wouldn't be pot because there was no small blind.
Right, so 4. 4 would actually be the Jonathan Little thing would actually go down to 4, but we're gonna do 4.5 out of habit. Okay, and he's gonna call this. Because you didn't limp the 3-4 to not see the flop.
Of course he calls.
Of course you call that, no, that was clear, because it's just, because he knows what he's trying to do here. Well, that's not what he was trying to do. But we'll see what happens with it. He
So
should,
this bastard's rewarded for his terrible play.
he should definitely check. Well, he may not get to the river, depending on the goes. He checks. Let's look at this. So before we look at our hand, we look at this flop and say, is this a range bet flop for the button? And I don't think it is. So the next thing we do is, before we look at our hand, we say, if we're gonna bet, what is the size that this flop bets? And I think this flop is a mostly is mixes small and large, where large is no overbets. I think that this flop is mostly the 25 and 33, but there is some 50 and almost no 75. No 60.
My only point would be that, you know,
And we
flop
can't.
strategies are a little bit out the window because those are based on ranges that are not present in this kind of pre-flop
You're
action.
completely right. I put him in the big blind again. I just instantly said, oh, where else could he be? I totally forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so I mean, Jeremiah Williams here, well, he would never use this ISO size, but
Yeah.
Jeremiah Williams default here, and I've said this 2,000 times, I apologize. It's just to B50 and see what happens.
okay.
And I think what you're going to find is that GTO, if let's assume he's playing a big blind range,
Mhm.
and we can kind of put him in the big blind, basically. He's out of position, you're in position on the button. This flop, I think, is going to give you all the sizes, including overbets.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be one of these flops that has like more overbets than we imagine. That's my prediction. I'm putting it in right now.
Good. Yeah, I want to look at this flop in not how this hand was played, but just for the analysis. But if he looks at this and says he's not c-betting range, this hand doesn't c-bet. This hand has showdown value. It's not enough of a draw. There are if you want to bet draws, you have a ton of other draws to do. The 10 is a little bit of a draw, but you've got all your flushes there. And you've got all your actual gut shots that you can bet. So checks behind. Now this guy has got a terrible flush draw to go with it. He should check, but he bets out, and now he has to fold. Even with a gut shot, I think he needs to fold here. And this 3-4 is so happy right now.
Yep.
I mean, could not be happier. Let's see
Yep.
what that
Made his day.
Are you ready with this hand to look at it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And he is villain 13. That's the guy we want to look at. Deep stack villain 13.
Give me, there we go.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm proud of the prediction. There's a lot of overbetting on that flop. Not our hand, no, but
Right. Still.
globally, it is one of those flops that has a pretty significant amount of overbets and
God.
large bets.
I
Can we
was
look at the ranges real quick to understand what's driving?
just a range advantage across the way and no nut.
So we do have an equity advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where's the total equity? I didn't see it on that. Where's the total equity difference? I'm looking, I see combos. I'm just not seeing it. Where's the number I'm looking at? Oh, equity, 52.47. That's not that big of advantage. But then again,
best hands.
we're not betting range.
No, you're not betting range, but your nut advantage
big
comes
nut
from your over pair advantage.
That's what it is. Yeah. He just never has those overpairs.
But that was a heuristic that we've seen before. It's jack high, 10 high, disconnected-ish.
Good to know.
And you have to be selective. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a range bet.
Yeah. Fold, raise, fold, 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 fold,
Pair
fold.
screen.
Oh, we could do that, I suppose. Get back to Zoom. Show chat. Nobody is chatting. We're all here. Okay. So this should be ace jack raise and take it. But ace jack limps.
Limp and take it.
Limp and yes, limp and take it. I would not be surprised to see villain 21 limp along with him. I don't see anybody ISOing him. Oh, villain 21 ISOs. Good. I don't expect this to work yet.
Is that a good play? King
The
3
ISO?
suited.
I mean, I think it's a little on the loose side, but it's certainly it's better than calling.
I usually just fold King 3 suited there.
I would.
Yeah, me too.
I would, especially because this guy does have this guy's early enough to have a tricky limping range.
Yeah.
You can
Like,
just,
I don't know if I should add that. I'm not playing King 3 suited against a early position limp. I don't know.
yeah, well,
I don't think anybody on this call is.
I mean, take Joey's thing and say, okay, I need to use the top half of my opening range in this position, and King 3 suited is not in that. Then you go, but I've seen him limp too much, so I don't need that. And you go, okay, we'll just play your whole range. And King 3 suited in the cutoff is there, but it's right at the bottom. It's I mean, it's a fold in the hijack. And King 2 suited is a fold here, so you're right at the cusp. So maybe do it to a later position limper who has fewer ace, who has got fewer trap limps. Yeah, I'll just let it go. And it's gonna work. But if you do it, make sure you make this bet. All right. Fold, 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 raise, fold, fold, fold. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What is it? Does this exist? 1, 2, 3,
Oh, Scotty.
6 in the low jack. This is not going to end well for me. Queen 6 suited. This is not
I
right.
don't think so.
This doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
it's not in range.
No, this does not exist. This is just confusion, boredom, drunk, mistake. Yeah, into that.
You have some crazy tight table. Maybe it's okay.
Well, not too bad. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Has this table just made itself crazy tight? There's been a lot of limping. This is the one with the 3-4 guy. And we're gonna fold. That was fun. Yes. 7:30 a.m. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Good night. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So I just have to fold. I don't know where that came from. Ace queen again, raises, different guy, same position. There's his raise, fold, 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 fold. The deuces should defend. And his raise should be a little bit bigger because of this, and the deuces should probably fold to that bigger size in his broken stack. I don't think he will, but he should. Extra big raise. Okay,
So what, okay, this is an interesting spot. Yeah, I like the sizing. What do you guys think? You go bigger or you like the sizing?
I would go 5.
Yep,
but I
I'd go 5.5, but That's good.
That's just fine. The
Yeah,
deuce is
5.5 is probably better, you're right.
this is a bad idea. He's almost
Yeah,
always
this
gonna
is,
flop. You know,
he
so
doesn't have, yeah.
he's not closing the action, but he can reasonably assume that he's closing the action, but he's just not getting good odds for this with his short stack. This is that guy, but this shouldn't surprise us. We've seen it from this guy. This is the short stack guy that I think I doubled up. So
Wow.
those are my chips that are going into this pot badly. And of course that happens. He should check.
So that's an interesting situation. He's getting pot odds.
He is. He's got some chips.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just wow.
Yep. Whoa. Fold, 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 raise, fold, fold, fold. Hey, poker. Fold, 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 fold. Hey. Not poker. So if you have a limping range in the small blind, that's fine. This 5-4 is not in the limping range for cash. That's just even if it is, even if it's in some chart, it's a mistake. I mean, I would be surprised to find it in the old in the old mixed in the old poker coaching mixed stuff 5-4. Does anybody remember if it's even in there?
What, 5-4? Oh, in the old poker coaching, I
Yeah,
don't
in the
know
old
that
one,
one.
in the old one where we in those old 6 max, which had that complicated limping range in the small blind.
Yeah.
I don't think 5-4 was in it. But maybe it is. There we go. And then
I would be raising 7-6 suited here.
Yeah.
To the limp.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Not pure though.
No, probably not pure. I remember we looked at these, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's a raise. I know this one. It is. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it here. We got it here. Small blind call. Big blind 7-6 suited. A lot, not pure. But a lot.
Call it a third.
Third calls. Yeah, I mean it's 2/3 raising.
8-2 suited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at it.
8-2
Oh,
suited, 9-2 suited, 10-2
yeah,
suited. Holy
definitely.
cow.
Yeah. All
Really?
all over. We're all over this. This is the rich lobe.
I don't understand that.
Me
9-2
either.
suited?
You're bluffing.
Okay. So
You're bluffing with a hand that has decent equity when called, and you fold it when you get 3-bet. Because look at this.
so
This-
Jack 2 is way too good to raise. So you raise your 9-2. Is that the thinking there? An 8-2? Wow. 8-2. That's not in my wheelhouse. 7-3.
Okay, so let's raise it to 5. Let's raise the 9-2 to 5. Small blind folds out all this. Small blind folds 65% to the 5. So that's an instant print right there. And then when they
And
raise,
when they call,
but look,
you've
when they raise
got
you,
that whole
they
region
raise
is
you.
like kind of,
Yeah, but look, when they raise you, this whole region is a bluff. Just all of that, all of that and all of this was a bluff, leaving you with a decent range. When they call you, we're not going to go to the flop there. But we look at their calling range. So when they call you,
We'll call from the small blind. Call the small blind so that they're calling your
we're gonna go, here's the small
Your-
blind. Let's look at their calling range.
click call, like
Yes.
up in the small blind. You've still got it on raise.
Right, oh, yeah, but I'm saying, but then we're done. They call you, we're done. It's the big blind can't do anything.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying.
But we want to
Yeah.
look at, so this is what we want to look at, is when we get called. So here you are with your 9 deuce suited against this range. Well, I'm not happy. I was gonna say, I was gonna say you're not miserable, but yeah, you're miserable. So don't get called.
Hmm.
We're gonna go on till I'm
Uh,
gonna stop at the next hero hand.
I was trying to verbalize it, but you raise that sort of section there, right?
Mhm.
And you're folding out. They're going to fold out that whole section. Like they don't call that region.
Right.
When they do call, all those hands in that region are all kind of what's the term I'm thinking of? They're open. Like you're
not dominant.
unblocking. Like their calling range doesn't include any of that.
Yeah.
Well, look at the 5-3 off and 5-4 off that you're also betting there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
6-4 off. I don't play that shit like that. 4-2 off.
Yeah, Mike, you have
Are
a
you
good
guys
point.
playing that?
So maybe we bluff raise the suited 9x and 10x because their calling region doesn't include that. So then if you pair up, you're in better shape.
Well, look at 5-3 off. Are you
Yeah.
guys playing that like that for a raise,
Yes.
a big
No.
raise?
Just so you
For like
know,
a
I have
2.2
not memorized what's a big and what's a small raise, but I've memorized this range. I've memorized this nonsense, this
My
ugliness.
goodness.
I can reproduce this on command. This nonsense.
That's the
Okay.
same.
I might
Yeah.
be downloading the wrong charts.
But also this is not played very often. You're not seeing a lot of small blind limps. And when you see the small blind limp, are they really doing this range? Is this really their range?
That looks more like a range
Yeah.
that I would play. Like I don't have any 4-2 off
But look at
in
this.
my range.
Look at this. Against this limping range, when you raise, all of this folds out. Everything that dominates you folds out here.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. And by the way, I have no idea if, given what people are actually raising, whether this range is sensible. I just learned it because it was available.
In the wild, do you play that?
In cash games, in live games, we don't get limps. We chop. We chop the blinds. We never play the blinds.
I always play the blinds.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
It
not?
puts the players on tilt, and they don't have any experience playing heads up.
So, you shouldn't, because you're playing time. You shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I'm playing time, and they suck heads up.
No, you should absolutely play blinds. I shouldn't. The drop, because the amount they have to suck compared to the drop is huge.
Right.
Yeah, giving away money. And online, am I doing this? Yes. I'm doing exactly that. As well, as when I say exactly that plus all the mistakes I make trying to do it. I remember things wrong, and you guys have seen that here. So here we go to the flop. So the 7-6 suited does a lot of raising there, but not pure. He checks. Just win the hand. I don't think there's anything here other than just. I don't think you need to put this into buckets. I think you can just bet because he checked and win the hand. Fold, fold, raise, fold, fold, 3-bet. Fold, fold, fold. All right. he
Ace
does fine.
three
He
with
doesn't
some
want-
potential.
Now that
three
it's
betting.
folded. Yeah, the ace 3 should absolutely raise and he should 3-bet that. Now that the king 9 didn't, so, oh, that's me. So this is gonna be our last hand. And it's not gonna end well for me, but maybe it's not gonna cost me too much. There's the raise. Oh. Thank you for not 3-betting, Mr. Broken Stack. Fold, call. Oh, well, now this is easy. It's just gone multi-way, and so I'm not gonna do anything cute. Massively multi-way, so I'm not even betting an ace. I'm not losing any more money in this. I mean, I'm losing a few dollars with it. And I'm not winning this either. The fives should fast play it, but not by betting out. They should be going for a check raise. Does, I'm not gonna bet. Queen's not gonna bet. Now, having it checked around, the fives need to bet. Do they, I guess they need to raise this 2 big blinds because it's just too little money in there. Yeah, and he takes it. All right. What do we think of this here?
Terrible. Check
No,
fold.
the jack queen, yes, but this. Should he be raising? The size seems too big, but should he be raising here?
Well, what's our SPR? So our SPR against the villain who has expressed interest is 2.
Yeah.
So and you're in position to the villain who's expressed interest
Mhm.
on straight, 7-9 is possible. I think that you could even slow play this considering the SPR.
Yeah, but you missed there was no bet on the flop, so you only have one more street.
Yeah, you're right, but
Yeah.
you could easily, so we get 4, so 2 here. 14,
14.
and if everybody else folds, the
He checks.
I
for
think I
20.
like a slow play and see if I get action behind,
Okay,
because action behind you're gonna raise every time if someone reopens the action,
Yeah.
and your SPR is yeah, your SPR is 2. I think that you can. Your SPR is what gonna be not 2, it's like 0.75.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if you can still play this at any frequency.
okay.
Maybe I think that, clearly I think we can agree the raise size was too big.
He expected the guy to actually have something multi-way. He said, well,
So maybe 5 is better size.
he may have looked at it and just gone, I mean, at this SPR, he's pot committed with his 2.
Yeah,
Or maybe he decided he was scared of the draws.
I think scared is often what Fish is thinking here.
Yeah, he wants to.
Yeah, and they're just not thinking. They just don't have any idea how big his stack is.
Yeah, good point.
I put any consideration to it.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, like when we're talking about this, because essentially now talking about tournament strategy, right?
Yeah. Although these 2 tables, we've had a lot of short stack play today. I mean, every table has had short stacks on it.
We have, so 9 max ignition. So Mike, are you finding this level of fish at 9 max ignition?
Mike's been eaten by bears.
That's all right. It happens. Bears happen.
It's okay. We're at the end anyway. So, cool. Thank you guys. Alexander, are you new? Have we seen you before? If you're new, welcome.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna go again tomorrow, Alexander.
Thanks. It was good to watch. I didn't have much input, but thank you.
Excellent.
So tomorrow we're gonna have another session that starts at, we do 2 a week, Mondays and Tuesdays. Tomorrow's session starts at 11 a.m. Chicago time.
Okay.
11:15.
Yeah, sorry, 11:15.
All right,
All right then. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna stop the recording.